points to anybody who understands that reference.
Hello.
Hello.
I understand it just for the points.
Yep.
You
I
don't get
wholeheartedly understand that, but it's just for the points.
Yep.
Infinidagger. Right, you onto dashboard.
Hello.
Hello.
Someone joins. Hello!
Just everyone stop what you're doing and just go and watch Game Grumps, like all Game Grumps. Oh, I'm seriously gutted that they're doing a they're doing a Europe tour, but they're doing it with Jack fucking Septiceye. And no offense to the guy, I'm sure lots of people do like him. I am not one of those guys. Something about him just grates on me so much. Yeah, so
Some
I'm a bit
people like
disappointed.
that though. Like you just
Yeah.
Some people love the comedy. Some of them it's just kind of like, no, I do so many things that just make me unhappy.
He's just.
That's possibly because he's always out of 10. He's
That's
never
it. That's
anything
it.
less than a 10. He's
It's
dialed up all the way.
It's just
Seriously.
nothing lower than.
All the way, right up the top.
Yeah.
It's just like he's had done like a line of coke per episode. Like, calm your tits, please.
Also, I'm Irish, so I naturally have to start
Yeah.
my conversations with top
So
of the
course,
morning.
Irish, top of the morning, potatoes, Irish. Sorry, I'll stop.
Because references.
That's the funny
I
thing about
was-
it, because he's actually Spud.
I was actually playing Cards Against Humanity yesterday, and there's one of the anti-cards is it's an Irishman that doesn't care for potatoes. But it just doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist.
Okay, right. I think we're about ready to roll. It looks like my third Twitch dashboard is being mental, but yeah, we can crack on. So before we do start,
What Lucy's doing right now. Sorry, I just linked something in Skype.
okay, fair enough. I'll see that later. Yes, for those that's oh god, no! Don't stop OBS. No, that was a wrong button. Yeah, just everything else.
Goodbye, stream.
Yeah,
What
there
did
are
you
going
link?
to be.
This is nothing.
It's nothing.
Just gives me the point interest.
The link, it does nothing.
Doesn't it?
I don't know. I've not looked.
It gives me
It's a
D&D
redirect.
funny.
It gives
It
me
just gives a
redirect
shit-
notice. And,
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, right. It's on that page. It's second line down, far right.
Anime dead?
Yeah.
Level 1.
This doesn't work because I'm not fucking finding just the count. Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the count either. No, that's
For
terrible.
me, it's a real quest with like squirrels.
Look what I did. I treated myself to a deck box and printed off.
Woo!
Because his
Nice.
next class is a bit of a spellcaster. But we'll get on to that in due time. For now, we shall begin the game. As I was going to try and say, there have been a few alterations. We've got two players which are changing their characters for now. One who unfortunately isn't joining us. Dot is away on family business, so she couldn't join us. And Chris is retiring Dogma for the moment and playing along with as somebody else who we will meet in due time. There are also going to be some slight changes to the adventure itself, but they'll become apparent as we proceed. So, delving back down into the Doom Vault, you are wandering through the forest, stalking a pair of beasts of some description, which I can't remember because I've been way busy doing other things.
Barguests.
Barguests, yes, you were tracking some barguests and trying to stealth your way through this forested area. You start making your way towards the barguests, trying to keep to the side. A few of you sort of looking at them, trying to keep them in view, and the others make sure that you don't make too much noise. Gets about a minute or two into this moving forward, and it seems time around you seems to stop. You'd see the barguests, they were devouring the corpse of some small creature, and they just almost stop in place. You feel your body almost just sort of halt and close up, your limbs unable to move, still conscious and able to see what's going on, but just unable to make much of an action. In front of you, maybe about 20-25 feet in front of you, from behind a tree, steps fairly tall, slim figure. Plain black trousers, a sort of black dress shirt with a bit of like a white ruff around it, dark hair slicked back, fairly short around the face, and the face, doesn't quite look right. It looks like a human-like face, but there's just something about this face which doesn't quite fit. It just does, there's something not quite right about it. It starts walking towards you, slowly pacing up, seemingly unaffected by whatever this effect of slowing you down has not affecting it. Well, 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 Tempus Hostis. It seems you've fallen down a path that you weren't necessarily meant to be taking originally. I understand you have many questions. He snaps his fingers, and you feel your body relax slightly, and your limbs come back to control. The person in front of you sort of crosses his arms, putting his fingers sort of like that in front of him. I am the Fates. It is a pleasure to meet you. I've been interested in what you've been doing for quite some time now.
Wait, aren't the Fates supposed to be women?
The Fates are entirely what we choose to be, whatever our personal preferences at the time. We control the Fates, and as I said, yours has become lost from its original path. It seems a force has sent you into this place, and he sort of looks around him. This is not what you were meant to do. I have been tasked to reset you into what it is that your true calling in life. You will unfortunately have no memory of this place. The events that have unfolded, well, remain a mystery to you. The very essence of the Doom Vault itself becoming shrouded. Perhaps you will come here again, perhaps not. Perhaps you will end up on the other side, not even knowing one another. But unfortunately, you have no control over this. The Fates have spoken. And he walks over to Watgar. Strong, powerful dwarf. Your physical prowess is mighty. Long may you fight. Puts his hand over your head, and you fall unconscious. Kraylin, masterful druid of the land. You know this is not exactly where you should be right now. Greater things task your mind. May you find those in time. Knocks you unconscious. Sees that you're just about to say and just puts a hand on your head and you just feel yourself drooping
Sleep
down
now.
into nothing. Dogma, there have been many things that you've been searching for in your life. Perhaps it's time you went on a greater journey. Closes his hand and you fall down. Walks over to Nariman. Nariman. You are my favourite. He takes his hand and sort of just holds your face slightly under the chin.
Really?
I'm not entirely sure where the Fates will send you. And he reaches into your pocket and pulls out the deck of many things. This is a very powerful item. It seems that even my powers are unable to affect it. Whether this is a good thing or bad thing for you, I cannot say. But I'm sure you'll have an interesting life. And you fall down.
You did.
Tam Alvan.
Hey, so what do Fates do in their time off?
The Fates do this sort of thing. Make sure that those meant for great purposes do those great purposes, and those who fall from the path do never stray again. I hope this new group of friends you found help you find purpose in your life.
So, are they going to be alright?
And you fall. Everyone in the room goes black. You feel a slight sort of drop in your stomach. Currently you're blinded and deaf and you don't hear or see anything. You just feel this great sickening drop in your stomach. You feel ground rush up, wind rush up, and ground hits against your feet as you feel like you land on a stonish floor. The lights come back on. You feel your vision, your hearing return to yourself. Standing in front of you is Azrael, the half the elven bounty hunter from the Hunter's Lodge of Stragos. Tam, you've never seen this person before, but you have. You feel like you were here. The group that you were travelling with have brought you along. Maybe they can make use of your skills. Kraylin, you've heard them talking. The group talking about Azrael before in passing from Dokma, but looking around, and those that do know Dokma can't see him here. And you remember that yesterday morning he said that he was going to go ahead and scout out some information on something that Azrael had sent him off to do. Laying out in front of you on a table is a bloodied and beaten male elf, probably quite a youngish looking elf. The features are still quite soft, but pierced with several of these jet black, jagged looking arrows into the chest, the shoulders, just completely peppering the body. Azrael speaks to the group. So as you can see, it seems that the orcs are definitely around in the area. They've found one of my scouts, and well, we found him out in the woods, but it seems that there's nothing around there to even say that the orcs were even here. But there must be something. Dokma has gone ahead at his request to see if there's anything that he can find out himself, but the job is passed on to you if maybe you meet up with him later down the line. But this threat needs to be addressed.
So is this a corpse on the table?
Yes, this is a corpse. Yeah, it seems to be sort of dressed down in just like a basic plain robe, but just scattered with these black arrows just sort of from head to toe. Smells quite long dead as well. Is there any questions that anyone has? Is there anything I can do to help make your job easier?
How far away from town was this man found?
It wasn't too far out of town. She pulls out the map of sort of a map of the continent, and she points out to the mountain ridge to sort of the northeast, and there's like a slightly forested section around the base of there. These are the Bramblewood forest. We found him just outside of the Bramblewood, but searching around we couldn't see any traces of anybody that left it here. It was almost as if he appeared in the space covered in these arrows, or perhaps something in the trees or forest shot at him from distance. It's really hard to say.
Where was he sent?
He was sent to investigate the before you met up with these. I assume they've maybe not told you the whole story. Before coming into Stragos, the party that you're with came upon a couple of orcs, some sort of scouting party, around the entrance to the jungle to the west. They apparently decided not to take too much interest of it and came to me to put feelers out to see if there's anything we can find out, and they have since gone missing. I sent one away. We haven't heard back from him, and this is the second one who's been found. The idea was to hopefully find out what the orcs are doing there, where they are, what their plans are, but alas, it's fallen to you to pick up the trail. I trust that Dokma knew the company that he kept, and I trust that you will be able to follow out this to the best of your abilities.
Absolutely. Though I do think that Dokma would be more the stealthy type. I think we're more the sort of type to walk in and hopefully beat him to pieces.
Well, these are orcs, and generally they are well beaten down. One of the few things that they do understand, certainly the lesser orcs understand, is the power and strength. You show them that, and they will certainly listen, whether that would be to your benefit or not.
Wonder if we could perhaps lure them out.
Physical strength is no problem, though.
She
That's not for me.
I would
yes,
thank you.
looks at Watgar and just sort of gives a little bit of a chuckle. Yes, I'm sure you could certainly give them a thrashing.
Well, we'd best not really dawdle. We should head out, surely.
Do you think that you would? Are you going to be heading out currently, or do you think you'd waiting for the fall of night?
So, is there a contract for this or something?
I believe it was with Dogma, and he went ahead. If you find Dogma, I'm sure he'd be able to, possibly put you in. He was undertaking this quest as means entry to the Hunter's Lodge.
Sure, I won't want to go and butcher a load of innocent orcs, like.
Oh dear,
Orcs
they're not innocent.
rarely are innocent. Maybe they are if you get there and they happen to be innocent. Then I'm sure that can be arranged. But
Either way, I'm sure we'll get paid. I mean, look, Doc was a good fellow. He's a good friend of ours, and we know we can trust him.
you will certainly have
Well-
gained a lot of favours by.
As long
dealing
as this
with
is
these orcs.
sanctioned, I'm good to go.
Well, I'm.
As long as the guards are informed and everything is okay, I don't mind.
Yes, the guards have been informed that there are some amount of orcs in the mountains, and but it seems that nothing's come forward. Wherever they are, they're obviously staying put.
How far is it from here to these hills? And I'll point at where the body was found.
So you wanted to know how far away the forest from
Yeah.
the town is?
Time of travel. If it's a day's journey, then there's no point
Yeah,
backing
it'll
up.
maybe take like half a day. That's like hard riding. Or like hard. Well, if you were riding, it maybe take you about half a day, maybe a little bit longer into the afternoon, to get there, sort of by foot. And that's if you didn't run into any trouble along the roads. But generally, the open plains of the region are fairly quiet these days. It's been a long time since we've had anything major going on.
Well, in that case, perhaps we could just leave at night and spend a whole day travelling, then arrive there, hopefully at night, under the cover of darkness, sneak in while they're sleeping, and then slap them about and be done with it then.
That's probably what Dogma was intending. The cover of darkness. The orcs have a mild amount of dark vision, but it can't be great.
Well, if Dortmund's up ahead, I don't see any reason why we can't go get ourselves some horses and head out that way. I'm up for a ride.
Sounds good.
Very well. Well, if you would care to head down to the what place did I call it? I think I just called it the Riders Guild. Yes, the Riders Guild. If you head down to the Riders Guild, and she pulls out a scroll of paper, just hands it out to the group, whoever would take it. And she just says that this they will probably give you a discount on the horses on my name.
Oh,
That's
excellent.
to
That
the
certainly
group.
solves that problem. Thank you, dear.
Whoever wants to take that doesn't really matter.
Bloody hell. Another thing that makes my feet not on solid ground. Not my favorite.
It's not that much to fall from a horse, and I'm sure we can find something of your stature.
It could be worse. We could be going by boat again.
No fear,
the problem
Master
isn't
Dwarf.
my height, the problem is my girl.
I'm sure you'll soon master this new talent. I've seen you master other enemies before. Just think of it as a new challenge. Come on, let's go. And I'll give Whatgar a slap on the back and start heading out.
Look, if it was about killing the horse and eating it, I would do it myself, but but
Let's save
riding
that
it
for
is another
extreme.
matter
Always about the
entirely.
food. For God's sake, let's just go already.
I knew a man who had a great recipe for horse, You ever tried horse? And we'll walk out.
So you're all heading to the Riders Guild, known as
You've seen a
the
horse.
Robin Wood Ranch. It's called.
Neil.
Is there anything you'd like to do in town before you disappear off there?
Unload.
Oh, what was the potions place again? The
Potions
frog?
place. That was Alchemist
Frog.
Donovan's.
Donovan,
Yes,
yeah,
I think
he's
we'd
a
call
friend
it
of mine.
something the green frog of some sort.
We could just quickly head there, real quick.
Sure.
Sorry,
What was-
where do you want to go, Nairman?
There's some place called like the froggy face, the froggy green, some sort of alchemy thing. It's a friend of mine there who owes me a bit of a few favours, who can perhaps give us a discount on a couple good old potions.
Alchemy shop. Is this the same guy who wanted that weeds that you're after, Kraylin?
I believe so. Yes. Well, it
it
was
is.
at least a mission that was there.
That's right, it was. It was the man that I danced with, and you wanted to get the drugs. I mean, the weeds for. Yes, that's
It
true.
was dancing? I missed out on dancing.
Oh, it was glorious. I gave a right good old shuffle. Have you,
You
have you
did.
ever heard of cramping? It was great.
Oh, you'll have to show me sometime. That sounds fabulous.
I'm glad I missed out.
Oh, I'm
Fabs
sure you've
show
got the
us
moves,
now.
what, Gar?
I don't dance.
Oh, don't give me none of that. I bet you're quite hit among the lady dwarves.
Well, no.
And I have heard of like a very good technique for dwarves where like you lay them on their back and you spin them, and that's a really good little dancing technique.
Spin the dwarf.
It's
Yeah.
it's possible.
I think it usually ends with the walls being painted green.
Depends what you've been eating, though, right?
Different
Aye.
shades of green.
50 of them to be precise.
Mm.
No. Take that one back. I take it back. It didn't happen.
Disadvantage to the DM.
Yeah, sure. No, I fully accept that. So, who's going to head off to the alchemist shop, the Green Frog?
I'll.
Bring Tam if he wants to come with.
Yeah, I'm coming along. I want to see this. And Kralin, are you going to come along too? I mean, if you want to get this weed for this guy, we should probably find out where the hell you can find the stuff, right?
Oh, well, no, I mean, they did tell us before exactly where it would be, and I haven't actually been to his shop before, but it doesn't really interest me.
What? A
Potions
shop
aren't
full of
my
natural
thing.
remedies?
Yes,
Oh,
but
come
I'm
on,
already
That would be
aware.
up your alley.
Don't you want to learn a bit more about what those plants you look after can do?
Oh, I know quite a bit, actually.
Well, there you go.
I'm
Take it as a
very-
learning opportunity.
Okay.
Good man. Come on, let's be off.
Okay, so you all head off to the Green Frog.
Mm.
Brilliant. Yeah, it doesn't take you too long to go there. You've worked your way around the town. You know all the little shortcuts and side alleys. You run into a few people who recognise you and they're like, "Hey, it's you guys! Cool job!" And yeah, eventually you come to the entrance to the Green Frog. Yeah, the writing across the doorway reads like green, and then there's like this painting of a green frog drinking a potion of some description, some bubbles and stuff. It seems like there's a few people in there already, maybe one or two. Just so you can hear like the clinking of bottles, the talking of voices and such.
I like nudge Kralin and point up at the sign of the frog drinking a potion. Hey, you think drinking natural stuff can really do that to you?
It seems like
think
there's a
I know
mild.
that
It seems
frog.
like there's a mild enchantment on the frog itself. The arm and the bottle seem to be connected, so they just kind of.
I think I got to be more careful what I eat out in the woods.
Why do I remember that motion?
Strange.
Well,
It seems easy. It seems easy to miss.
And, like, let me knock and like move my way inside.
Hello. 1 minute. I'll be with you. Don't worry. I'm just dealing with some customers. Look around. Their voice seems quite far away. You can't currently see him.
I'll take the steps up to the door two at a time and come into the store after now and then.
Okay. Yeah. While he's away, the interior of the store, it looks like there's just sort of shelves and shelves of bottles of various colours and shapes and sizes. Inside there seem to be two gnomes who look to be a male and a female, who look to be just sort of handing this small round bottle with like a reddish
I'll be
fluid.
Right back.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no worries. And they're sort of like passing it between one another and looking it over.
Might you like to tell just back a glance what the potion they have is?
Sure, give me an Arcana check.
Just like being that one nosy guy leaning over them going, oh yeah.
Looks to be a form of love potion.
Dear, I blush and turn away.
Yeah.
I work with lovely potions on the wall here.
Yeah, there seems to be an array of basic potions that you notice, some potions of healing of various degrees, ranging up from the basic potions of healing all the way up to superior potions, healing potions. You can only see about 2 of the superior healing potions, and there seem to be a handful of the other ones scattered around. And then there's a few that you maybe don't recognise, with various different sort of colours and things. And while you're sort of going around and seeing what there is, you get to tap on your back. Hello, Narman!
Hello, dear friend.
How goes the day? And he puts his hand up to you and sort of gives you a shake, gives you a bit of a shake.
Give him like a massive shake. Hello, friend. We're going off on another adventure of danger and duty and saving people and all sorts. And so I thought I'd come to my favourite alchemist and see if we could perhaps purchase some little healy thingies to make us not die if we ever get stabbed.
I'm more than happy to serve a valued customer like you, Nariman.
Anyways, we're always going to be coming back to you.
Now, is there anything in particular that you were looking out for? I have a few of the basic healing potions. If you want some of those, they're looks back at you. For you, I can do them at go on. Let's call it 15 gold apiece. And I have 5 of those.
Honestly, I think at this stage we better stock up on what we can. So I think I'll take all 5 of those.
And if you're going to end up in serious bother with taking some beatings from some brutes, I have 2 greater healing potions, which you can have for, let's call it 100 gold apiece.
I'll take one if I can.
Yes, quite of course, Master Dwarf, and he reaches down, pulls one down, and sort of stacks it up. He seems like he's sort of bundling these things together. So yes, I have 2 of the greater healing potions. What else do I have here? I do actually have one that came in just this morning. And he swings this ladder around and sort of scatters up, kind of like one of those big bookshelf type things. Scatters all the way up to the top, and slides his way back down with this quite tall, thin bottle that's filled with this sort of like. It almost looks like it's sort of like filled with the sky. Like it's a blue-coloured potion, but there seem to be these like white, sort of cloudy, milky
Wow, that's
things
beautiful.
that are sort of floating around. Now this
Very
is
exotic.
this is a potion of flying, which
Wow.
may interest you. I'm not entirely sure what sort of things you're going to be getting up to, Mr. Narriman, but
You know me, dear, I do get up to lots of things.
now it is quite expensive. I'd have to ask for about 400 gold for this, and that's with a bit of discount
I
for
do
being a
appreciate
customer.
it. I do love the mate's rates, as it were. But personally, I'm a little bit short-changed. I think for the time being, I myself, I'll take all 5 of those basic healing potions at 15 each, for
Yes, that
75 total.
Sounds
Um,
wonderful.
What are you taking one of the... Was it superior or greater?
Greater.
Greater. And I'll take the other greater for 100. So it's 175.
I tell you what, if you're both buying the greater healing potions, let's call them 80 gold apiece.
Oh, absolutely then, sure. Thank you. That is, let me just...
Thank you for the discount.
Ah, you're quite welcome. Any friend of Narriman is a friend of mine. Alchemist Donovan, that's my name. I'll try
Thank
and
you,
remember
dear.
that.
And I'll always be sure to spread the word around for you too.
I'm
I
sure
used
you
to have
will.
that lovely little embossed frog on my little armpiece here.
That's wonderful. Well, if that's, I think that's about all I've got in store for some adventuring types. I've grown a bit skimpy recently, but
Can I ask-
a few healing potions might keep you going.
Do you
Yes,
have
Master
any
Furbolg?
oils?
Oils? What sort of massage oils or something?
No, it's more how would I put it? Oils of a certain rarity.
Oh, yes. And he gives you a bit of a quizzical look. Readjusts his glasses. What sort of rare oils, my friend?
Well,
He sort of comes
the
closer.
name-
It seems like he's quite interested.
The name seems to be what I've said is exactly what I'm curious about. There is no specific thing. I feel that I may need a little something at some point, and I was just basically seeing what you had in stock.
Well, I have some fairly standard oil. You can use it to light fires, grease surfaces. It can be a bit nasty when swallowed. But it's pretty basic oil. I can sell you those. I have flasks of those for silver piece apiece.
Well, tell me this: is there anything that I could get that could fit within my hand for 1,000 gold?
Sorry, 1,000 gold. Not entirely sure what you're asking for, Mr. Furbolg.
I'm not exactly certain what you have.
Well, I don't think I've got anything worth 1,000 gold here. Certainly not in... Well, I mean, I have some potions of that nature, but that's Not quite. It's certainly more than 1,000 gold.
Oh, it's more than 1,000 gold.
Yes, it's nearing the 4,000 gold range actually.
Oh,
Must be a particularly great potion.
how much of that do you have?
Well, I only have one of these, and well, I don't really keep it out on shelves because of the nature of it and the price. Yeah, I'd hate for something that expensive and rare to go missing.
How large is it?
It's just the size of a regular potion bottle, to be quite honest. Just not much bigger than many of those you see on the shelves.
Would you be interested in a trade?
What sort of trade did you have in mind? I must warn you, if you're trying to trade for a potion of around 4,000 gold in price, I wonder what it is you had for trade.
Well, I did see back there that you were looking for perhaps some gillyweed.
Oh yes.
Do you have any here?
No, I what you were in the other day and I was asking you to recover some for me.
No, I wasn't here.
Who was it? Someone? I'm sure it was one of your group.
I remember hearing about it, but
I think it may have been. I think it was. We
I
took
thought
it
you-
on, but I don't think we went for it
With
because
haste.
it was towards the dog with 3 heads or something, and we didn't go down that way.
Yeah, there was. He wanted. I'm sure it was offered to Kraylin. Or the group
Might
as
be
the
up
group
there.
in the group in
Maybe.
general. He was at. He
I'm
wanted.
sure we went to go see him a couple of times to buy potions that he mentioned. And we were like, yeah, if we ever get to it. And
Hmm.
No, we
We
did.
went to the
No,
vault.
we already traded them in because we got water breathing potions for them. Was it water breathing?
It was water.
We did
Yeah,
actually-
he
we got a
wanted.
couple.
He wanted. He wanted gillyweed, which was a lake that he knew where it sort of grows, which was guarded by a hydra. And
Which
the,
is
the,
where-
idea, the idea
Hold on.
was, you go and get this gillyweed for me, so I can make these water-breathing potions, and I can give you a couple as a reward.
Was
Yeah.
this not on the poster? And
Yeah,
wherever
it was-
these
it
guys
was- I
went
think
to?
it
Yeah,
was-
I think we've already done it though.
No, I
No,
don't.
we
think,
haven't.
no, you've not
No,
gone
we
We
for.
haven't.
certainly
haven't.
haven't.
No, you
We
haven't.
killed the Hydra.
You haven't
'cause
fought
the needed
Hydra.
to be killed for
Mugen.
Mugen. Yeah.
Mugen wanted to kill the Hydra, and Donovan wanted it killing so that he could retrieve the gillyweed.
All I remember from this place is that Kronk had haste cast on him,
Yeah,
had Nariman climb on his shoulders, and the two of them sped off.
yeah. Right. No.
As far as I'm aware, I haven't
So
been here.
Kronk and Nariman may have heard the.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it doesn't. It doesn't seem like he's got any gillyweed there or any of the water-breathing potions. If you asked him why, he would then tell you, "Oh, I've got some. There's a job to try and retrieve the gillyweed, Hydra. What I've just said." But he doesn't currently have any of those at the shop.
None whatsoever. Not even a little taste.
I think I've got maybe one gillyweed left, but not enough to make much of a potion with, I'm afraid.
May I see it?
Yes, yes, of course. And he rushes into the back and comes back with this like brown parchment package sealed up with a bit of string. Unfolds it out, and there you see this kind of withered-looking plant. Looks kind of like seaweed with these like blue polyps. It's certainly not looking in the greatest state, and I suppose if we even tried to make a potion out of it, I can't imagine it would be particularly strong. Like I said, I could really do with this the Hydra being taken care of, so I can get a fresh batch in.
I tend to be quite good with plants. Let me just try something here.
Plant growth. If you cast a spell over 8 hours, then plants within there, but you would have to plant the gillyweed there, and it would take 8 hours to cast it. The plant isn't, because it's not already planted. It doesn't. It wouldn't really be affected by the first instance of plant growth because it's not technically connected to the earth. But the
But
second
it's one action or 8 hours.
yeah, so it would be the one action would immediately cause the plants to grow, but it wouldn't because it's not currently planted. It's a dried version of the object. It doesn't quite have the same effect. If you did the 8-hour version and planted it sort of at the same time, that would certainly help enhance growing it, but it wouldn't be an instant growth.
And we presumably need a lake to do it with.
Yeah, it does need water to be around.
There is an idea to go there.
It's certainly an idea. Yeah, when if you went to the lake and did plant growth there, you would certainly be able to harvest quite a lot.
Well, would you happen to have any other flowers here?
We've got that. There's flowers of all sorts around. There's some in the gardens in the central district. I believe down by the Dusk Root there's some rather lovely flower beds and things. There are some flower girls around selling bouquets and such.
I know this lovely little lady in the social district, right? She sells the best roses in at least 3 different colours, fresh picked every day. I can set you up, I tell you, Kraylin.
No, that's okay. I think she'd possibly be a bit too young for me.
As probably how many people.
Yeah. I tend to outlive my spouses. I don't know why. There's no pattern there. Don't worry. Nobody asked anything. Don't worry about it.
Do you sit on them?
Well, let's not go into that part of my social life. So, no, the reason why I ask is because I do have a particular balance with nature.
Okay, yeah, but you certainly have that aura about yourself.
As well, I have you seen many druids?
Well, there's a few that come across the Dusk Route every now and again. It's sort of I imagine it's a bit of a pilgrimage space is the Dusk Route, I believe. A few of them
yes.
pass around now and again.
Well, how much gillyweed would I need to provide in order to value against 4,000 gold of oil?
Holy shit. How are you gonna
Sorry,
make-
so what you're asking is how much gillyweed would 4,000 gold buy? Is that what you're asking? I'm not entirely sure what you're trying to find out here.
Yes.
'Cause
How
it's-
could I trade for 4,000 gold's worth of oils by the quest for gillyweed? How much money will we get for the gillyweed?
Give me a nature check. A nature check and... No, just a nature check for you. Okay. A considerable amount. You think that you may have to spend the better part of a day cultivating the gillyweed. It's fairly rare and it doesn't grow in particularly large places, but you need a considerable amount to actually get the use to make a single potion.
Would there be any plants outside?
Like there's plenty of plain plants, yeah, but not
Yeah.
not the gillyweed. The
Oh,
gillyweed.
no, that's fine.
All right, yeah, no, there's you see as you've been going around, Stragos itself is quite a colourful city. There's hanging baskets, little planters in shop windows and that sort of thing. A few around here, but they seem to be more decorative plants than like plants that people would use for trade. That, for want of a better word.
Hey, Nariman, sounds like when we get to this stable place, Kraylin's going to want a horse and cart.
It certainly does. God help us. I'm not carrying any of it.
He hasn't even asked what the potion does yet.
I know, he's just sort of like, I want it, gimme, it's expensive. He just sounds like a spoiled girl.
Or maybe he knows something we don't, eh?
It's certainly true. He's a bit weird and blue, isn't he?
Yeah, and he likes all this naturey, potiony stuff. He
Yes,
said
he
there
was
was a
saying about-
potion that can turn you into a frog outside.
It's a bit strange. I mean, he was saying about an aura of nature. It's more like the stench of nature, if you ask me.
You've noticed
I
that
can't
too?
hear you.
You all hear quite a loud knock at the door, which kind of just go door.
I put one hand to my sword and turn towards the door.
Come in?
As
Hello,
as
door's
I
open. No need to bang.
The door swings open, And like as I step through, I'm sort of almost hunched over, and as I come through the doorway, I just stand up straight. And about standing in front of you, you'll see about 8.5 foot tall. Is this Goliath creature, very like sort of dark brown skin, like very very dark in colour. Almost got like tribal markings all over whatever skin is showing.
Spoiler, it's Doomfist.
All over his face, down his arms, on top of his head you will see, and like over his back is basically the remains of a bear, like the bear skin, with its head sort of just sat on top of his, and its fur going down its back, and he's covered in, or he's wearing chainmail armor, and it's all sort of, it looks like it's doing the job, but it also looks like it's taking a beating from massive, like just being in fights, and like in his hand he's carrying like this club, and he's got like a shield on his back, which you can just see sticking out from underneath the bear. So,
Be with you as soon as possible, sir. I've just a few customers. I'm sure you don't mind waiting.
That's fine, thank you. Yes, I don't mind waiting here.
Just mind your head on the rafters.
Yes.
Oh dear.
No, my name's not Udir.
Oh, I'm sorry, I confused you with an old friend of mine.
yes.
He dresses much the same.
Yes, I think I've heard of this Udir. But my name is Dax Stonespeaker. What is your name?
Mine is Krayla. Do you speak to stones?
Well, somewhat, yes.
Do they speak back?
Not really, but they have a natural. Let's just say they do what I ask.
Wait. Sorry, I'm Tam. You speak to stones, they don't speak back, but they do what you ask. What particular medicines do you want from here? Because it sounds like this one's on me.
All of them.
Oh,
Well, I'm not.
well, there are people who in the Dwarven Kingdom that speak to stone quite regularly, actually. We usually refer to them as priests.
That sort of sounds like a rocky relationship. Sorry.
Get out.
Tam bursts into laughter and slaps you on the back.
And it's usually rough around the edges.
Well, I shall not get in your way.
You'll hear a very large sigh from Donovan in the corner.
And from me.
Actually, I was actually looking for a group of people. Actually, I've just been at the Hunter's Lodge, and I know I've come across someone that was apparently friends with you. His name was Dokma.
Hey, you know Dokma?
Yes.
We sound very similar.
Yes, we do sound very similar.
I couldn't come up with a voice. I was like,
It's fine. It's good.
I use the Russian for
very
Goliath.
similar.
I use the Russian accent for Goliath because it just fit. Big strong man from Wild.
big strong man. Yes.
Hurts the lotion on his skin.
But yes, we met probably many years ago, and he was bounty hunting, and he was chasing someone called the Spitting Viper, and we came across our paths, and we joined our travels for a bit, and then he went his own way because my path met a different one to his, and I recently seen him through the woods, and we stopped and we had a I spent the night in the woods not far from here with him, and he gave me this bit of paper and said he couldn't carry on with what he wanted to do. And he said something about going back to find his roots, and he said go to the Hunter's Lodge and they'll explain. And I came back with this bit of paper, and it's some sort of agreement to find some orcs or something in the caves in the mountains, and apparently there's a group of people that he was with, and got told they came in here. I was wondering
Well, it
if
sounds like you found the right place. Let's have a look there. And I'll
Indeed.
take the
Hello there.
like hand out this
It's,
like agreement that basically says if we take care of things, we'll get into the Hunter's Lodge.
all looks in order. Let's go slay some orcs. You need some potions, like that medicine you mentioned.
Yes, the rocky people potion.
no, I've got what I want. Excuse me, sorry.
Bless you, dear.
The dust in the rafters.
I was going to say, yes, you are rather tall. Sort of, you can do really good cleaning in here.
I'm only a small man. I can't quite reach the rafters that
Oh dear,
often.
it wasn't an insult, I'm so sorry. It was more
You sure?
fair in him being tall.
Are you sure you weren't the spitting viper? You kind of, you got that everywhere.
Oh no, dear, we killed the spitting viper with Dokma. You weren't really there, though. It was,
More people that you killed.
it was a bad lady. He.
It was
Yeah.
actually a bandit leader.
Yes. With slaves and awful things and a mechanical dog, and it was a very bad thing. Anyway, hello, I am Nariman. Very lovely to meet you. Sort of raises his hand up because he's like, yep,
Just
foot
this
tall.
giant hand comes down.
Crushes the entire hand.
So,
Lovely to meet you.
So, a very important question. Does vodka reach to your balls or not?
How tall is what? How tall is
question.
Whatgar?
Vodka is... Let me just check.
8.5.
8.5.
4 feet 11 inches.
You might be just above.
Just above, but it's pretty close.
Good. That's very important.
Good. Well, we're learning
If
something
I
about our
stood with my
dwarf
legs-
hero.
If I stood
No, but
God.
he can basically he can now headbutt your balls.
I'm glad
Very
that's
important.
yeah, very important.
An extra amount of damage.
Well, and
I'm going to step inside. I think there's a bit more room for me if you're the people I'm
keep on with that and sort of just bend down, open the door. And
You know what? I'll wait outside. I don't think this is a good idea for everybody to crowd in.
yes, if that's all the business you require from me, Nariman, and anybody else that I hope that I'll try and keep something in for later.
Yes, thank you, dear. We are going to head off and save people, do goodery, and hopefully find you this gillyweed thingy that our friend the Kralin man is going to fix up for
I'd
us.
certainly appreciate it, and if you have the abilities to make more, then I'd certainly be able to recompense you for that.
Oh, and just between me and you, like, I'll lean closer to you. I was like, what was that potion that she was, wanting to buy from you? Because I would love it to be something ridiculous.
Give me a persuasion check.
Let's go.
I'll help because I'm interested. So advantage.
Are you
I
trying
actually-
to just you know? Because if it's just you
Oh.
to know, I'm going to have to
Yeah.
ask for a stealth
It'll
then as
be-
well.
Oh, only me as well then. So yeah,
Oh,
for my
in that case,
persuasion.
I don't care.
So okay. So why don't you? I want to use my Tides of Chaos thing,
Okay.
or rather the one that actually adds a D4. It's been a while. So that's 12 to stealth, and it's been a while. A week off, and I've forgotten everything. Band luck. There we go. 2 sorcery points for a 1d4. So roll 1d4. Yes.
19.
So it's not going to catch up to it then. No.
So what was the result?
So oh god, +1. So
13.
I guess since I already seen the result, I can't choose Tides of Chaos to make that the 18. So we'll just go.
I've not said the result yet.
Oh.
So yeah, it would
So-
be 13. Unfortunately, he's not willing to divulge exactly what it is. It's quite expensive.
No worries, dear. People you must have your
It
trade.
definitely takes notice of your interest, and if something should come in that he would be willing to trade for it, or a job done, then he'll certainly keep you in mind. But at the moment, he's not willing to divulge.
No worries, dear. We shall hopefully return soon with lots of gillies and presents and toys and stuff to make more fancy things.
Very good, very good. Well, I could wish you well on your journey, and be safe, and watch out for those hydras. Dangerous.
Oh yes. Oh,
Lots of
they're no
heads.
match for me.
I'm quite sure.
I'm all head out. Actually, on that note, what happened to all of my spell slots and sorcery points? Are they all back to 0?
Yes, this is the result of a long rest. So,
Fine, cool.
Everyone at the moment should be, and if they're not, you can alt that now, should be at their full potential, full hit points, full everything.
Is that blank growth cast count?
Well, that was you just giving me the information, so that's not casted.
Alright. Well, just before I do walk out, there is something I'm going to cast.
Okay.
I'm going to walk up to the guy, hold my hand out.
Yep.
Close it.
Okay.
Cast Goodberry. Open it again.
Holds out both of his hands expectingly. Is it just the one, or?
Oh, no, it's like
The
2 or
full-
3 in there. I left one pop, one in my mouth.
Okay.
Careful one.
Thank you very much. I'll runs off and finds this empty jar and sort of bloop, 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 dips them in. Takes one out. Ooh, fruity. Good day, sir. Thank you very much. Good luck on your travels, and what did you druids say? Trees be with you. Ooh.
Is
You've
it very
never
much
heard
again?
you've never heard a druid say that before. Never. But the meaning's there, I suppose.
Yes, it's a bit druidish, but okay.
So you all find yourselves stood outside the Green Frog.
Shall we head off to the horse house or whatever, the Gallopy, Trotney?
I believe they call it the stable.
Yes, one of those.
Yeah, the Robin Wood Ranch. It's called.
That's it.
Yeah, you're all going to the ranch.
Well, I didn't come this far to find you and not carry on with what you were doing. I suppose.
Yes, we're going to go hopefully catch up to Docma and save all people from the orcs and all sorts of heroics.
I don't think you'll be catching up with Docmer anytime soon. Once he seemed very intent on getting to wherever he was going.
Well, you never know.
Would any of you have about 3,500 gold to lend me?
No, I'm afraid not.
Must have
no
left that
bucks
kind
for
of
me,
money
then.
in my other pants. Sorry, bub.
Yes. Sorry. Perhaps
Is there any
we'll
way
find
we
it
could-
along the way.
Is there any way we could
Fine,
make
money.
it?
Fine.
Gambling.
You could
Yeah.
try to.
Gambling?
You could roll dice for it, or.
No. That's a bad idea.
Here, there is the game of cards. I'm really good at what's it called? Paker, I think it was.
Hey,
called.
No,
I do
I've
believe we
seen
saw
you
you-
use cards.
No one wants to play cards with you, Narman.
Actually, in like this Destiny thing, do people know about my deck of many things? I guess they do.
Yeah, they know.
Crap.
You've had that since before you went to the.
Hey, when we settle down tonight, I'll play a game with you, and I'll take a pack of cards that look reasonably well thumbed out of my pocket, shuffle them twice in one hand, and just slip them back into my pocket again.
Excellent. Yes, finally someone with some actual, talent and fun, as opposed
Absolutely,
to
totally, Card Shark. I'm up for that. Anyway,
that sounds good to me.
Tom, vodka gives you a really dark look, and goes, "You better not have marked those cards."
hey, you crack out a fresh pack. If it's on you, you're straight in there. What kind of worries?
Just to know, that's illegal. If I catch you, you're going to jail.
Don't worry about guy, you'll never catch me.
Judge, jury, and executioner.
And as they're walking there, I'm just kind of almost, and so is beating slaves are equal too.
Did you even see that high Watgar?
So you're having this conversation as you walk
As
through
you're walking to the-
walk through town. You're heading towards the ride to the Robin Wood Ranch.
Yeah.
Okay, as you get up, it's on the outskirts of town, just outside, and it seems to be your sort of standard horse-bearing ranch. There's a wide open field with a selection of horses of various different sizes, colours, shapes, and breeds, and a small sort of like cabin-type building, sort of built onto the side of it. There's a small child sat on what looks like a swing, sort of hanging from like a roof at the door. Looks quite nice.
Tam, I think this one's up to you. I can't stand the children. They're weird, small.
I'm good and all, but I'm a little light. But if you got me covered, I'm good.
Yes. And I'll, like, back him up a little bit.
Okay. So I'll go up.
Okay. The little child seems to be halfling. Just sort of sat on this sort of swinging bench. Looks to be wearing like overall, sort of, off one shoulder. Bit of a straw hat. Singing away some sort of country style tune.
Do I recognise it?
Recognise the tune. How well versed are you in the musical arts of the region?
Intelligence performance?
Sure, why not? Go on then.
That's +5.
Oh God. Yeah, it seems a particularly simple song about the joys of horse riding. You believe it's called "My Lovely Horse."
Cool. I'll walk up.
My lovely, lovely horse.
I'll walk up and start humming along, and then
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
kneel down by the bench and just listen, humming along for a while.
Seems
Little one.
Seems pretty happy with you. Hey,
You
Mister.
sing beautifully.
Ah, thank you. I've been practicing all my life. Not that long though, but I'm very good. What are you looking
really
for?
amazing. I'm looking for some horses, actually. Do you think you could do us a really good deal?
Then you came to the right place. This is owned by Melon. You go inside. She's my mom. She'll probably know.
Yeah, but I want some of your advice. Which ones do you think we should go for?
The black ones. They're the fastest.
Cool. There's going to be 5 of us. We got enough black ones?
Maybe.
4.
Okay. Well, thanks
You
for the
see, you
tip.
see him sort of like reach around, sort of like the building, kind of peering out. Yeah, there's maybe like 3 or 4. I can't tell. It could be a really, really dark brown horse.
Do you think that's one of the ones you're singing the song about?
No, my horse.
Which one?
My horse is one of the white ones with the brown spots on its butt.
Which one are you singing about?
Yeah,
Why
that
you
one,
ask
the
me?
white one with the brown spots on its butt.
Wow, that one's beautiful. Just like your voice.
Thank
I'll
you.
go and talk to your mum, and we'll see you in a minute, alright?
Okay, Melon opens up the window and shouts through. You got visitors. And, and then the child sort of scatters off, dancing off into the forest, into the
How
field.
big is a halfling child?
Very small, like
If I stepped into the room, would it petrify him?
yeah, just you could hold one in your hand and it'd be like that big.
That does sound like a
It's like a little
halfling's already
chihuahua
pretty
size
tiny,
human.
but a halfling kid,
I know.
especially something that's younger than like 10. That'll
This
be
was- you get the
far
idea.
too
This is
small.
probably a pretty young one.
It's like a little bunny. What do you do?
Yeah, you hear a voice from the inside. Just shouts you in. Come on in. Room for all. Welcome to the Robin Hood Ranch. Robin Wood Ranch.
I'll head my way in, and I'm
Sake.
still humming the tune that the girl was singing outside.
Okay. Going into it, there seems to be a fairly simple sort of front office with a bit of seating and things, a little bit of a half-place fire, and there's a table, and sat at that is a human woman dressed in a similar sort of bluish-looking overalls, a bit of a shirt, these sort of quite thick-lipped boots on, hair done up into these like messy buns, like a strawish colour.
Beautiful morning!
Morning, sir. My name is Malon. How can I help you? And she comes up,
Hello,
shakes
Malon,
your
hello.
hand.
I have it on good authority that you have some of the finest horses in Stragos, and we'd like to
Finest
borrow
around.
some from you if we can. Those black ones out back look absolutely amazing, so well cared for, and I bet they're fast.
Oh, you've been listening to little Jessica, haven't you? Yeah, she's
Absolutely, she's so cute.
she's got quite a bond with her horses. Bless her. Anyway, yes, and she rushes over to this to the table, opens up a little drawer, and pulls out a little sort of like handbook. So you're looking to buy a horse, or just rent one for a period of time?
I suppose that depends on your rates. I'm sure they'll be reasonable for honest folk.
As reasonable as we can for the, like you say, the fastest horses in Dragos. We have horses are 80 gold to buy, and we charge a 5 gold a day renting stable fee. So kept here if you're ever away. We'll keep them fed, make sure they're watered and exercised, that sort of thing. If you're just wanting to rent them, they're 40 gold a week, with a security deposit of 20 gold.
And while they're having a conversation, Norman just kind of like slips Tam little like note thing we had about the guild.
Yeah,
What's
she
the-
doesn't know it.
Which does the note say? Which note is this, sorry?
It's the one about how we can get a reduction in the price for the horses, wasn't it?
Oh, what kind of reduction does this thing give us? Or was it just that because it's...
She do you mind if I look?
Oh, not at all.
And she takes it and throws it. Oh, you're friends of Azrael, I see. Oh, yes. Well, that should be quite in order. I think I would probably do you half price on that. That'd be the renting. Unfortunately, the cost to buy a horse there can be a bit more of an expense in that. But renting a horse, that seems reasonable. 20 gold for a week. And tell you what, seeing as it's for Azrael, scrap the security deposit. I'm sure she put her faith in good, well-minded people.
20 gold for the week, you say?
Yes, I think that sounds fair.
But, you know, we're quite honest folk here, and we are working for Azrael, and I'm going to try and haggle with her.
All right, give me a persuasion check. Krillin, yeah, what are you gonna?
I was going to bend down to Narum, and in the meantime, kind of whisper in his ear, maybe we should buy them. Creatures tend to die around us.
I was just thinking that the security deposit and trustful folk seems to die nearby. We'll see.
Well, even with the security deposit and the 40 gold, it's still 20 gold cheaper than just buying it and letting it die.
It's only 20 gold cheaper here. What you want me to roll?
Yeah, please. Persuasion, sorry.
Well,
Persuasion.
the thing is, it will die within a week. If it's going to die, it's going to die within a week. We still save 20 gold.
She says, for you, she can do them at 16.
Wow, okay, that's
So
really
20.
good of you. So, what kind of discount would that be off if we buy them? That's some more gold in your pocket.
You'd drive a hard bargain, certainly. If you're wanting to buy them, the lowest I could possibly go would be 70.
Let me talk with my friends here, and I'll turn back to Nariman. So, we can do 70, only I don't have the brass.
It's okay, dear. Like I said, I've got you. I do have only about 136. I spent a lot of my moolah on the potions, you know. Now, I did hear that there's a very well-off blue man in our midst that may be able to spot us the rest. And I'll sort of like turn to Graylin.
Hearing this, I'm going to also like lean down.
I also have no money.
Any friend of Document's a friend of ours.
We're just all going to turn in unison and look at
Just like...
Okay, so
Everybody's
the
looking at you,
furbolg is the
looking the opposite
security
direction.
deposit.
Honestly, I don't want a horse. Either we rent or...
Like,
I don't want to own a horse. It's a stupid
I'm 8.5
animal.
foot tall. My legs are going to touch the floor.
You've seen as you're walking along, you did see a
I'll
few.
probably need a ladder to get up.
You did see a few of the of a quite larger breed of horses, which you think you could probably quite easily ride. Clydesdales, are they the big ones? Yeah, you saw some quite large. Probably only like one or two.
How much would we have to spend on a cart?
A cart? Ooh, not sort of thing that I usually keep in. I could possibly arrange for one to be delivered if you want. Yes.
That's a good idea.
Do you keep any buggies here?
No, we just generally do the horses, stabling, that sort of thing. What do you call the thing that you sit on?
So, here's what I'm thinking, guys, right?
What is the thing that they sit
This
on?
lady
What is it called? The saddle!
This-
Why do they not have a saddle?
This lady here reckons
Jesus.
she's got a good big Clydesdale for our friend here, but if we can get a cart as well, we could buy one big Clydesdale, take the cart, and that way we've got ourselves a ride on the way there, and enough space for your gillyweed on the way back. What'd you say, Kraylin?
Well, I mean, how much do plants even weigh? I mean, like, how much would one little gillyweed be,
Well,
for instance?
If he wants 4,000 gold over,
Yeah.
Well,
that's quite a lot.
I
I
reckon
did.
4,000 gold worth of gillyweed's probably going to take a card or three.
Well, I did. You know, we do have our good
Well, I
friend
could
Chester.
carry a cartload.
There is Chester. He's rather, insatiable when it comes to weight limit.
Gracious.
She says that
Exactly.
she can arrange a cart for 20 gold.
Wait,
It's
So
not
that little thing can carry as much as a cart.
In
A
fairness, I
cart
think we
will
should,
carry 200 pounds.
I think to be
Oh.
fair, we should probably
I
get
weigh
the horse
300.
first.
Yeah, I weigh
Yep.
200.
We wouldn't want to get the cart before the horse.
Wait, the cart only carries 200 pounds.
A basic cart carries 200 pound. If you want something slightly larger, there is a carriage which carries about 600 pounds.
Which
Yeah.
would
So that
carry
means
me
that
and one.
I'd break a cart.
Yeah.
Wagons they're 400. Yeah, I mean,
So that's what we're talking about. Yeah. But that's still a little.
and this is
There's
just
no-
the sort of thing.
What if we get a horse and a wagon, and that's just for transporting goods, and we walk and escort it with us, or we just walk and not
Well-
waste any money? 'Cause by the
Chester
look-
will be able to carry 500 pounds of weed. That's a lot of plant. Sorry, gillyweed. I think you'll be able to have more than enough inside of Chester.
That's very small. Like that's weird. That it's so low for a cart or.
In
wagon.
fairness, let's put it into perspective here. These are the sort of thing that peasants will probably be using to cart around sacks of potatoes and vegetables, not an adventuring
I don't
party of
think-
armoured, weaponed individuals.
I don't think
Yeah,
they'd
but still.
carry a sack of potatoes. I mean, the thing is, it's only 90 kilos. It's like
Yeah, carts
I mean,
carts
the thing
aren't
is-
very
the
big.
thing
No.
is, you get-
any
That's
full-grown
like two
man
sacks
sat
of
in the back
potatoes.
would break it.
Yeah, that's like 2 sacks of potatoes.
In fact, I think any one of us on
I
here
am
sat in the
reading
back-
things from the book. If you have issues with the weights
Yeah,
of these
I'm-
things,
Yeah,
Could you tell me the page?
I don't personally have a view
Looks
of weight.
I'm not.
Okay.
We're
For
not.
really,
we're not
so if you want for a
saying you're
really
lying,
crappy
Jake.
cart, for a really crappy cart, what's the good cart? Was there
The-
a 400?
There was a wagon for 400 that was 400 pounds, or there's a carriage which was 600 pounds.
Jay,
Which
Jay,
would carry
just don't
600.
think we're arguing with you. We're not saying it's your
Yeah, no, I know. I don't have a personal knowledge of like if I see 600 pounds, I don't know what that means because I can't
I've
convert
just
down
adjusted
to.
my mental image from something with wheels and 2 things to go down the side of the horse into a crappy handcart, sort of lashed together with seaweed and sort of ricketing down the road. Now that's a cart. I'm good.
Yeah, he's right. A
So
wagon
what's-
is 400 pounds. It's so low.
So how
That's so-
much was a wagon?
A wagon, she can arrange one for 45 gold.
And we could carry our food supplies and stuff on that as well if we wanted to.
Right, and the horse was 60.
The horses, was 70. That was the lowest she could go to buy.
Right, well I'll tell you what then. Let's do them both for 100. What do you say?
So what's that? One horse and a cart and a wagon.
Yeah.
Wagon.
Make me a persuasion check.
Hi.
So before the result, I'm going to use my thingy.
Okay.
Spend luck to spend 2 sorcery points for a 1d4 on top of that. Give me something good besides a 1. That'll do, I guess.
2, so what's that? 14. Yeah, she'll do you one horse, and she can arrange a wagon for the 100.
Excellent. It's been a real pleasure doing business with you. I recommend this place to my friends.
She puts a little note back, sort of folds it up, puts it in her, shakes your hand.
Oh,
Hearty shake, a little bit of a wink.
Okay.
and I will
and
hand
then
her the 100 gold.
yeah, and she will polish off Kronk and Narriman, and the three of you just sort of details so that names, so that if stuff goes missing and whatnot, when everyone knows names, that sort of thing.
Mm.
So we're just renting the cart, but we've got the
So that was to buy the horse, and yeah, that would be to buy the wagon as well.
Okay,
She
so
has to arrange the wagon to be delivered over because it's not the sort of thing that she normally keeps. It'll
Can
maybe
we just
take
go and pick it up? So it makes
yeah, or she can arrange it to be brought there. It'll maybe take about half an hour to an hour
Right.
if you want to wait there.
Half an hour goes by. Oh look, here's a card.
Yeah, sure. If there's nothing anybody else would like to do other than
I've
wander
been
around
out
and
studying
look at
the
the horses.
horses.
Yeah.
Well, are we just going to walk the rest of the way with a cart on a horse trudging beside us?
Mhm.
I thought the idea was that we're going to ride a horse to get there within half a day, so we're there by nightfall.
Well, that's gone out the window now when it cost everyone
Well-
70 pieces apiece.
Well, I's not
It
so fussed
depends.
about the price. I'm not paying. But Kraylin here says he doesn't want to walk, doesn't want a horse, and Walkdown here says he doesn't want a horse. I
Oh,
figure
I'm-
it's easier this way.
Eh,
I'm not
fine
walking.
then, guess we'll walk.
Lean,
But
lean over the fence and pick up like a pony.
Is this for you?
You see Jessica. No, put it down. It doesn't like heights. And runs over and tries to sort of jump up and take hold of the hooves and tries to pull down, and you sort of pull up higher, and Jessica's lifted off her feet. Oh, okay, no, please put us down. It's too scary.
Slowly just place it back on the floor.
Kraylin, as you're pacing around, just sort of looking at the horses and things, they look in pretty good condition. They do look strong, healthy horses. None of them look like particularly weak or anything. Looking at the bigger, like Clydesdale type horses, you can see like the quite big muscled horses. They all
So,
seem pretty happy and healthy.
yeah, just while I'm there, kind of studying the horses, I seem to be kind of quiet and off to the side, away from everybody else. At the minute.
Yeah.
While I'm doing this, and the idea is basically just while I'm off checking. Sorry, 2 seconds. I
Yeah,
see
no
if I
worries.
can Find it here. Actually,
We can come back to you if you need a bit more. If you need a bit.
yeah.
Fair
if
enough.
you can, please.
Well, so yeah, Kraylin's outside. Kraylin and Dotmer are outside playing the horses. Kronk and Tam and Naraman, you're sorting out paperwork. What guys, or anything that you want to go and check out, or are you just going to sort of wait until time
I'm
passes?
just
and-
gonna wait.
Yeah.
I found something for maybe for the future.
All right, sure.
Very interesting.
Yeah, if you
I'm
pop
just
it
nodding
into
it in
Skype, and I'll have a look at it
read what I'm
in
for
a little bit.
future reference.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, cool. Yeah, if multiple animals pull the same vehicle, they had their carrying capacity together. So, what's the carrying capacity of a horse? Looking at that same entrance, because that does actually make sense, to be totally honest.
Hmm.
That's like
I
that's a
think we're
that's a
buying
cart
draft
just.
boat, probably right.
Yeah, one of the big Clydesdale ones. That was the plan.
Yeah, that's probably a draft boat. Then it's 540.
Oh no, the horses that she has are mainly riding horses. They're
Oh,
slightly
okay.
bigger to allow slightly larger riders, but generally they're not specifically built for the carrying of.
Then it's
Like
480.
Shetlands.
That's still enough.
Um,
480.
Yeah, that's £480 on a riding horse. So yeah, so what's that? 480
So we've got
plus
880
£880,
That's,
yeah.
That's more like
That's
it.
yeah, that does make sense when it says the carrying capacity is added together. That's just like if you had a cart on its own, how much can it weigh before? How can it carry before it collapses? So yeah,
Actually,
no,
it's
good,
just- yeah,
good find.
It's just like I think it's
For
just
880, most of us can sit in the back. We're all right.
Yeah, and then you just walk when you've piled it up full of. I'm now imagining this day montage of Kraylin just plant growth, plant growth, plant growth.
Yeah.
5 times its carrying capacity. Yeah. Including
Oh, are we
the
going
weight
for the plants first?
No, I don't know. Well, it's entirely up to you.
I wasn't
So,
sure.
Which way is the lake?
the lake was more towards the north. If we look on the map, where is the world map? Yeah, it was close to, I believe, a swampy area, just slightly north, slightly east of Narunia, I believe. I'll double check
Well,
my
it
notes
seems to make
again.
sense. If we've got the cart, we may as well head this way. And if our friend Goliath here thinks that we're not going to catch up with Dogmer, then I don't see any harm in it.
Yeah, the mountains are certainly closer than the Hydra place would be.
Well, I don't mind as I would like to go get rid of these orcs. I don't really like orcs. I don't really think anyone does.
I think we should get rid of the orcs. They're threatening the city.
As
Well,
possibly
yeah,
a
maybe
good
federal
idea,
city.
yes.
As far as I can see, all we've done is send some scouts into their territory that have got shot. I mean, if they were invading my land, I might shoot them too. Whereas this Hydra, it could be dangerous to the people. It's closer than the orcs are for a start. And we could get some gillyweed out of it for the guy in the shop and get some potions, whatever they do.
Yeah,
I see the harm.
While
the
they're talking
orcs-
about that, Norman's walked off to the side, and I've taken out my portable hole.
Yeah.
We have the cart now, right?
Yeah, we'll fast forward about 45 minutes or so. The cart has arrived.
It says that it unfolds into a circular sheet 6 feet in diameter, and it has a 10-foot deep hole.
Yes.
Is that about the size of the cart? Could I,
Probably.
slide it
Probably.
across?
There would maybe be. Because the wagon is more of like a squarish shape. There's maybe like the corners would be missed off, but there would be if you sort of had the wagon and the circle of the portable hole over it. I genuinely didn't think that the portable hole was 6 feet across. But yeah, it would cover a large portion of the wagon.
I will
It's only
attempt
6
to try
feet
to put-
diameter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's somebody lying on their side. That's the width of it. It's
Yeah.
not very big.
Yeah, but I was thinking it was more like like
size.
like
That's
like
6
1 or
feet is like
1 or 2
is like-
feet 2 feet big.
It's crazy big. But
Yeah,
I guess
like-
6 feet isn't big enough to get the entire thing in it then, is it?
that's like a man
no.
standing up.
By 6 feet.
That's like
Also,
an average
um,
European standing up.
your knowledge of the of how the portable hull works. Yeah, it's not that something could. Yeah, you could sort of put it on the floor and then back the thing into it, and then it will be in the hull. If that's maybe what you were going for.
Just trying to to have a way to put it in without having to worry about dragging it.
Yeah.
No storage.
Mm,
Only storage.
Yeah, no. If you put the even if like the base of the wagon was big enough to fit the 6 foot
What are
in,
you trying to do?
I think it would probably just a hole through the wagon, and then it would just fall through the wagon.
No, it
No?
doesn't create passageways. So if he wants to, if he puts it on flat on the bed of the wagon, you can fill it full of stuff, and it just won't put any weight on the wagon. because
We
it's going
obviously
into
have
the
different
portable
ideas
hull.
about how the portable hull works.
It doesn't go through anything. You can read the description. It
I
doesn't-
thought
it never makes a-
then yes,
a
okay.
passageway.
Save looking. I'll look that later. But yeah, that seems like how that would work. But yeah,
Everyone in
6
tendencies Norman
6
trying
foot
to
is.
put the corner in. It's like, it's not. Can't you be a little bit bigger? I mean, come on, relax, stretch. Fuck, useless little thing, and I'll roll
Yeah.
the hole back up again. Hey, don't mind me.
Yeah,
it's
the
alright.
whole wagon's maybe about 10 foot long and maybe about 6-7 feet across the wide, and tall enough for medium people to stand up inside.
Don't mind me. Carry on.
Kraylin, what was it that
Spitballing.
you were doing?
Well, it was basically just a case of, are we going for the skillyweed first, which I don't think is necessary, or are we going to go for the orcs? I think the orcs, when we were down by the tree, Narman, do you remember what it said to you?
Not particularly. I didn't really sort of. It spoke to me, and it said.
The spirit of the tree spoke to you, and you don't remember what it said. Do you
Well,
talk to
yeah, a
trees
lot of-
all the
A
time?
lot of things speak to me. It goes in one ear and out the other.
I don't think there's
You
much
have
stopping it in
one time,
between.
right?
Do I remember what
Half
it
of the
said?
times
to
he
me?
doesn't know if he's speaking himself.
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure what it had said.
Well then, Kraylin, since you know, what did it say to me?
You didn't tell me.
I thought I did. Didn't it say it liked me? It thought I was really handsome and clever and it didn't like blue people. I think that's what it said. I'm pretty sure that's what it said. No?
I believe it was something along the lines of it knew that you had a bigger purpose, that there was a part of you that seemed to be with you and speak to a higher purpose.
I believe it was that, yes. I thought I was super
Well-
special and better than you.
You are the special.
I am the special one, and you
Yes.
should love me.
Well, either way, daylight is wasting, and I generally think we should be on now. Either
Yes.
way, to the.
Oh, we all love you, Narraman. You're certainly special.
Thank you, dear.
From the tree, I could
Be
feel
oblivious.
that there was something not right in the area that we've been told that the orcs are. I don't think it's just that they're a danger to the people. I think they're possibly a danger to nature, to this realm.
What, you mean they don't recycle? You fiends! We must go there certainly, post haste and deal with them. There's a brown bin and blue bin for a reason, goddammit!
Tam, is that your name? Yes. You question
Yes.
me about talking to stones, but you don't question them talking to trees.
Well, trees
At
are at
least-
least alive.
Yes, they're alive. Just because you can't understand them.
And you don't understand me talking to stones.
Hey, I'm not going to judge. Medicine for everybody.
I have heard of this, crystal medicine. This one's for headaches, this one's for love. I'm going to climb on top of the horse. Shall we be off then, everybody?
I think
Do we
it's
have a
about
name for
time.
the horse
I'm
as
going
well?
to hop up into the back of the wagon.
Oh yeah, is there a name for the horse?
They haven't got a name for the horse. If you want to,
What color is the horse?
yes, they have a name for the horse. It is
Binky.
It is lovely horse Binky.
Binky. Cool.
Just so you know, that's the name of Death's horse. That's horse.
Death.
Oh no, what was the horse's name? And
Binky. It's called Binky.
no,
You're not going to go
just-
Borderlands, are you?
No, what was
Thank
the horse
God.
in
want about
Shadow
with-
of the Colossus?
Shadow of the Colossus. Aggro.
Call
Aggro.
it Trigger, for God's
Aggro.
sake.
Aggro was
He's
just
better than Butt Stallion anyway.
I was going to say that we're not having Butt Stallion.
Butt Stallion?
Confuse.
what stallion?
Stallion!
And as
Yeah,
Narraman
that's
gets on the
stupid.
horse, I'm gonna go stand next to him and still look down upon him like.
Slightly less so, but yeah.
Hello, dear. Do you want to hop in the back? You may hurt this one's poor, back.
I probably weigh more than the horse, so it's best off I walk alongside you.
Don't know if you think you can keep up, dear.
Well, I've seen the brown horses, I've seen the black horses, I've seen the white one with spots that they were talking about. But I quite like a lighter colour than that. And I just, it's gonna get a little freaky for a
Oh
second.
God. What's he doing?
So, I'm gonna cast this, and at the same time then, twitch. And then just,
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Hold on, I'm just going to turn off his cam for the stream because I'm not allowing it.
Please don't. Oh, I'm draining it.
Yes, you see the form of Kraylin drop down onto all fours. The blue changes colour and grows into the shape of a slightly blue-looking horse. Probably roughly the same sort of height as he was. Definitely that sort of same blue coloration of the fur. Some of the mane you can see like bits of vines almost working their way into the mane and tail.
Way to go, Blue! We can get way more people in the cart like this, and I'll hop on and start harnessing him up.
And boy, and I'll slap his bum.
Go on, everyone in the cart. We're all good now.
Vodka sort of is used to all the
hold my
stupidity
hand
that
down to
goes on
Watgar
as
and haul him
jumps
up
in.
onto the back.
Yeah, Vodka sits down promptly.
How much does everyone weigh? Because I have a feeling I might just push you over the edge.
It's 5 times the horse's
yeah,
capacity, and the horse's capacity
We've got
is
2 lots of
500.
horses. We've got a draft
All right.
horse and a standard horse.
Okay, well in that case, I just
so-
sort of, I don't completely get. I sit in like the
No,
middle
you
bit
don't.
and just dangle my legs off the back. They're always
really
dragging, but
Anyway, we can now move super fast because we're in a cart. Let's go.
So everyone's
Where are we
everyone's
going
setting off
again?
towards the forest.
Where are we going? That's a good point.
Going to the orcs, dear, of course. Hello, we need to get 2 coconuts.
We're out the lake with the Hydra.
Let's take a quick vote. Everyone raise their hands for the orc.
I say we go to the orc.
Maybe we ought to
Orcs
get
it
rid of the
is.
patties.
Orcs it is.
And then we can go play farmer.
Okay, so
I don't think
does
many farmers have to deal with hydras, but let's go kill some orcs.
so can one person roll me a d20, please? Just the one.
I just got it.
Yep. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
That's the way to do it.
Okay, the journey sets off quite a brisk pace. Tam, you probably pick up the lovely song horse, sing that a few times, maybe teach some of the rest of the people. Gets into about halfway in the journey, and one of the wheels actually of the wagon, the axle breaks, and the wheel sort of just breaks off, and the truck comes to a halt.
Well, this was really
Okay.
worth the money.
I got this. Mend.
Okay, you jump off, and come round. You sort of hold the two pieces together, and then sort of like mend. While this is going on, can everyone except Dax give me a perception check?
So we get an arrow to the back.
Naraman, nothing.
Perception, right? That's on P.
That is in B.
Okay, Kraylin as well.
I'm not sure if I can.
You can see things. You have eyes.
Yes, but what I mean is I don't have the same stats when I'm a beast.
Oh,
Well,
so
you're
you'll have
passive
to.
perception 10.
Well, this is while Dax is taking care of this.
1 second, I'll look it up for you.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
just
of
looking
course.
for draft horse.
Wisdom is 11, so plus 0.
Yep. So
Yeah,
you just
so
roll
just
a
so just roll me a d20.
Oh my god, you have the attack of hooves!
I would like to hoof.
D20.
Just slash R d20.
whatever behooves you.
Oh.
With that, like I use like my other cantrip, and then you just hear this laugh, like echo around us all. It's just this.
Okay. Nariman, Tam, and Kraylin. The rest of you don't particularly see much around. You're more sort of focused on getting back up and getting the journey.
Oh, I found it.
I know
Yeah,
I was getting to you.
I
Miss-
apologize.
No, it's fine. Yeah, Mia. Sorry, Watgar. As you're looking off, you're sort of keeping your eyes on the track, looking towards the forest. You briefly see a very small dark shape. Looks like it sort of disappears out of a tree line to the. Hold on, let me just get my directions here so I get this right. You're currently going sort of northeast. Northwest. Yeah, to the west, there's a small sort of like copse of trees, and you see a small dark shape just sort of zip out of that little copse, halt for a couple of seconds, and then disappear back into the tree lines.
The shape.
From this
Can I tell,
distance, it was.
Or
It looked humanoid. You could see
animalistic?
it looked like there were, two legs, two certainly arms. Whatever it was didn't look like it had anything in like of a weapon. It was still quite a way away, so it was hard to tell. But there was certainly a small shape. It didn't look like anything, like even judging by the distance. It was clearly a smallish looking thing, but it's hard to work out too much detail.
I think we're being watched. I just saw someone there in the trees.
Where in the trees?
I sort of
Points you over, and you can see this sort of smallish copse of trees, sort of almost like sort of set on its own. There's a few trees that sort of feather out from it, but yeah, it just seems to be this sort of small copse. You don't see anything there.
Hey, big guy, you keep bending the cart. I think we're being watched. Give me a second. And I'm actually going to wave my hands for a second, mumble something under my breath, and just sort of fade from sight. And I'm going to cast invisibility.
Okay.
And then I'm
You'll
going
see
to
Tam disappear.
go that way
Okay.
and see who's watching us.
Does invisibility make you quiet?
No, not necessarily.
Nope. Not with
So
the
are you going to be moving quietly, or are you just going to be...
That's the plan.
Okay, if you want to roll me a stealth check then, please.
Okie dokie.
I'm just asking, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, there are. I think there's some invisibility effects which sort of lessen the sound as well, but generally invisibility doesn't silence you at all. Okay, that's
I think that's because that's one of the only weaknesses of the spell.
Yeah, that's true. Like things can still see like your footprints and stuff like that, or if you fart, they can smell it. Okay, you slowly make your way up towards the this copse of trees, invisibly. Looking into the trees, it doesn't look like there's anything in there. It's quite sort of a dense little copse, but you don't see anything immediately from the outside. Give me an perception check, actually. Yeah, there's nothing more I can tell you from that. You don't see anything. You don't see anything moving inside. You don't hear anything moving inside, other than maybe
invisibility lasts for an hour. So I'm going to continue looking until I find something.
Just you're going to stay there for the hour.
No, I'm going to continue looking until I find something. So
okay. Fair enough. Yeah, if you want to make me another perception check with advantage, and this is for like the whole time that you've spent looking. Nice. Yeah, no, it seems. And you just sort of like go, because you can kind of circle around. The copse isn't massive. You can walk around it if you've got an hour's time, or you just sort of wanting to stay around where you saw the thing.
That depends what I find.
Well, you don't see anything around like the floor or anything, which is weird. You don't see any like footprints or anything, despite the fact that Watgar told you that there was something that entered and came out and went back in, but you don't see any footprints or anything. And you've not heard anything. I mean, you've heard a few like birds and things, but nothing that seems like it's
right. Yeah,
whatever was there either wasn't there, or
I'll wander through and around because I've got a while if they're repairing the cart. Yeah.
Even sort of searching around, you're not seeing any like footprints or anything. It looks like nothing has gone in or
No,
out.
there's nothing there, guys. Let's go.
I think I've about fixed this. I think. Have I nearly fixed this?
Yeah, with the time that Tam was away, you managed to fix it and make it a little better. Actually, you sort of as you're sort of going through it, you're like, that's not quite right. And with a bit of help from everybody, you kind of make it a little bit stronger.
Faster, better, stronger.
We have the technology, also magic. Kralin is still the blue horse. Shut up. No one asked your opinion, horsey. So you carry on. The wheel is back as normal. You see Tam just sort of reappear back in front of you.
Tam, dear, any luck with the thing?
No, there's nothing there.
Hello there.
No footprints, no creature, no nothing.
What was that?
I have no idea. Hello there.
That's me.
Kronk. Watgar, you definitely saw something. You don't think it was a trick of the eye, but maybe whatever it was in the time that it took Tam to get over, maybe it made its way away.
I think I saw something there. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm not losing my mind, am I?
Oh, it could have been. Maybe something magical. Don't worry about it. Woods have that effect on people.
If we're just like passing time buying the cat now heading out.
Did I want to tell you that I'm actually the last of my name, and it was because of
in
wolves.
fact,
Actually.
raised by wolves.
No, I was not raised by wolves, unfortunately, not this one.
Yeah, the cat carries on going.
And I was on lookout for my tribe, and I once ran 25 miles without stopping to warn my clan of an approaching orchard. I'd do it again if I had to, but they're all dead, and I'm the last of my name. So.
Well, you are a jolly fellow, aren't you?
Not a happy ending. I was expecting hugs and candy and ice cream.
Well, that comes later, good friend. Comes later.
I give him like a side hug. There. It's okay.
You sort of like reach around my arm.
Yeah. You can cry if you need to, dear. Pat, 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 pat.
Dax, you hear the very, very familiar voice just sort of laugh and chuckle into your ear. What have you gotten yourself into? What are you doing with these folk? You can respond telepathically. As in, think it and speak it.
I'm doing stuff for Dogma. It's what he wanted.
Dogma? That's no good elf. What has he ever done for you?
He helped me in my time of need.
Come on, you want to be a bit selfish, don't you? Feels good, I promise.
No, I'm not being selfish. Stop talking to me.
And they sort of almost to give this like little shrug, and it's just.
I'm going back to sleep. These guys are boring.
Garth shakes himself off. Naruma just kind of lets him go, and it's like, so how did you? Are you and Dogma close? I mean, did you two get along well? Good friends? Gives a bit of a wink.
Well, we didn't. Well, we knew each other for a while, but I wouldn't say we were good friends.
And wink back.
Okay, so it's not really like a Great Dane mounting a Chihuahua kind of situation. Good to know. I thought the Dogma was a bit weird, Sorry, carry on.
Didn't seem that weird when I met him, but I don't know what he's been through. But he helped me get out of a pickle, and I sort of helped heal him up to his full potential, and let him be on his way.
It's very good of you.
That's what I do. I try and rejuvenate people. I have a soft touch, so to speak.
looking at his huge, sort of, quite gnarled-looking skin and hands. Oh, sure, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's what, maybe that's it. It's kind of like massaging. Sort of each fingertip is like a little massage pod.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it, dear. I'm really not much fond of the. Anyway, I'm glad to have you on board. Any friend of Dogma's, of course, is a friend of ours.
Well, I hope I can be assistance of you. I'll be able to do a few things. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve when the time's right.
Tricks are certainly welcome here. We've all got a little bag of stuff as well. I mean, I myself am. He gives a bit of a slight flourish on the horse. I myself am quite good at the magical arts of magic.
Blowing yourself up.
Only sometimes. Only sometimes I blow myself up.
Aye. The rest of the time he blows us up.
Well, you get in the way.
It's alright. If he does that, I sure have a few tricks up my sleeves to put you right back up on your feet.
See, Dogma, it's fine. Don't worry. You get their attention, and I'll blow you up with them, and then he'll fix you.
You do realize there's no Dogma here, right?
Not Dogma. I'm too used to saying Dogma.
It's quite alright. I'll forgive you.
Thank you, dear.
And with that, but I do like a good sing-song, and with that I get out the bagpipes out my backpack and start
Because
playing.
he chose bagpipes as his instrument.
Because I chose bagpipes as my instrument. And I just...
That's certainly an interesting instrument.
Yeah, it's not the sort of instrument you've really seen before. Tam's maybe seen a couple of them, but a very strange instrument for somebody to own. It makes a very strange sound, but apparently he likes it, so that's all that's good. Kraylin, 4 hours does pass, and unfortunately your wild shape comes to an end. Anybody
He
right?
mid-canter and just goes...
Yeah, almost. Yeah, sort of. Well, I don't know if your wild shape is an easy, quick transform or something like that.
Are you done horsing around?
Shut up, little one.
Hey, Kraylin, you sound a bit hoarse. You okay?
Oh no. Okay. Disadvantage to anyone who makes another horse pun.
Do you need a moment?
I will end you, Nariman.
Come on,
Again.
He's gonna hoof it to you.
Fuck's sake. That's it. I'm out. Fuck this shit. No. So the 4 hour comes to an end, and then it takes you maybe about another hour or 2 hours to get to the edge of the tree line of this forested area that you were sort of directed to. It is starting to get dark. You can sort of see for a reasonable bit, but you think, maybe another couple of half an hour to an hour, you might start to need torches and things, or dark vision items if anybody has them.
I think we should find somewhere to camp for the night. Perhaps I might be able to get us a meal ready, I suppose. I can rustle up something.
I,
Sounds like a plan. Let's find somewhere to bed down.
Somewhere safe we can keep the poor little Binky here.
I'm calling him Binky.
Binky or Aggro, I'm not quite sure yet. I love both names.
Okay, we'll
Aggro because it's sad.
decide. Yeah, he's still getting a little bit used to what you're deciding to call him. So, would you like to make a camp outside the forest, or do you want to camp on the inside of the forest?
So, what have we been? What have we been travelling along? Is there a road through the
Not
woods?
really much in the way of roads, no. It's more open ground. There aren't particularly... There were maybe a few roads that you were following on the way there, but shot maybe like a bit into the journey, it more opened up into sort of flatter land. It wasn't massively hilly, maybe a few rises here and there, but generally not roaded, pathed area.
how close are we to our destination?
Well, you're basically there. You can either, stop away from it or go up closer to it. It's your choice at this point.
I say we don't use fire. We'll alert the orcs of our presence.
Yes, stealth is definitely in our favour, but then we won't be able to see in the dark, whereas they will.
Perhaps I could generate a little bit of light, and I pick up a stone and I use light on it.
It picks up this stone, it bursts into this quite warming glow, or is it quite a harsh, bright light?
No, it's almost gonna. It's quite bright to be quite near it, but like after like sort of 20 feet, it's almost just dim right out. Like you can't barely see it.
Yeah.
But if you're like around it, it's gonna be quite bright.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you put it. Say if I put it in like inside something, you're not going to be able to see the light at all. So say if we had like a tent or the wagon, I could put it in the wagon and you wouldn't see it outside the wagon.
That sounds about fair. Are you producing flame? Just after people had said not to? If you want, yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, don't let me stop you. It's just I thought.
Why would flame be any dimmer than the giant magical light?
True. No. True. No. So yeah, if you want, if you want to produce flame, you get a small ball of flame in your hand. Sort of this warming glow from it. Doesn't feel warm.
Well, I'm still kind of holding it clasped in the way in my hand, so it's not giving off all the light, just enough that I can kind of see around. I can extinguish it any time I need to.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so
we're all sort of playing little games. I'm going to reach up to my staff of charming and sort of grip the head of it and cast lighten up myself. But I'm going to do.
everyone has their own little lights.
I'm casting this to determine what light source. So it's either 3 or 4. I'm going to use force, whatever color force is.
Force would probably be like a white kind of light.
It's like a very pale kind of white on top of the staff.
I'll range off and see if I can find somewhere for us to camp that's quite defensible and hidden.
Okay. Doesn't take you too long. You have to go a bit away from where you were, but you find a section of the woods which is kind of like woods to the back, and it kind of circles around a reasonable area, but obviously it leaves a little bit out of the front, kind of open.
Okay. I'll lead everyone to there and circle the wagon.
Okay.
Good idea. Sounds like you have a very good spot for us to hide.
I'm going to hold my hand that's holding the little flame. I'm going to kind of hold it over to Armin and go, do you burn?
Yes, I believe I do burn. I am flammable, as it were.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to do anything. I'm a curious fellow. I'm curious nature.
No, you should. No, I'm not one to experiment on there. You know that magical things tend to blow up around me.
Usually caused by you.
Yes, but you never know what effects you could cause by mistake. You could be like, hello, Nariman, pat on the back, and then you burst into flames, or you turn into 50 chickens, or frogs rain from the sky and they're only hitting you. God knows. Best be careful.
I know you think he's joking, but I've seen half of the things he just described.
See? The man speaks the truth. One time I turned his beard into bubbles.
Well,
It was hilarious.
I can't quite turn into 50 chickens,
Yes.
but I can turn into a lot of rats.
Oh dear. Well,
Do you
those
know,
aren't tasty at all.
Chickens are like rats.
Yes.
Well, if we hurry up and get there, I can create us some food.
Well, why don't you get us some food, Dax, and we can all make ourselves comfy and maybe play around the cards. What do you say, Nariman?
Yes, it sounds lovely. I would love to play a game of cards.
And like as he says that, like if the back of the cart, like once everyone's got out, I'm just gonna look at it, almost just sort of like wave my hands around, and I'm gonna cast create food and water, and I'm literally gonna fill the back of the wagon with all the food and water you can imagine.
What do you make? What sort of feast do you conjure?
Feasts. I've got birds, rabbits, chickens, turkeys. Like obviously all the bits to go with it, like lettuces, cucumbers, like all the different salads. It's got obviously there's a where is it? Yes, 30 gallons of water, which will do for the horses. It will do
Jesus.
for everyone to drink.
Yep.
And obviously, if anyone wants
So
anything in
much food that it
particular-
almost starts to sort of fall out of the back of the wagon ever so slightly.
It's like, well,
A few roasted animals sort of onto the floor.
Does anybody else see that?
Well, that ain't half a good trick. And I'll wander up and help myself to some food.
Well, while this was going on, I'd been sitting kind of munching on a good berry, and I just look at it and kind of fling the good berry over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dogma, sorry, not Dogma. Dax, just give me a casting mod. What's is it? Wisdom for clerics.
yeah.
Yeah, just give me a wisdom check. Just
With
yeah,
unskilled
just unskilled wisdom. It's not super tasty, but it's quite filling. There's a lot of it there. It's more substance over quality.
Well, there's enough to sustain.
Yeah, this was more whether it was going to be
15 people for 24
yeah.
hours.
This was more like, is it going to be like high quality 5-star restaurant food, or is this just rations?
it's not
Yeah.
not my
It's
not my best
yeah.
meal, but I'm sure this will be fine. This will keep till breakfast, no worries. So once you get up, there'll be enough for breakfast and to fill you up on your way. So
That's
enjoy.
fantastic. You certainly
Enjoy.
do have many magical tricks.
Yes, well,
Help yourselves, and with that, I'm gonna grab a couple of chicken legs and.
Cool. So you help yourself to the food, help yourself to the water. The aggro / Binky was quite tired after the journey that you put him / her through. And yeah, he / she is very happy to drink and eat to fullness. Tam rolls some dices for reasons. So you all set up some sort of bedding, bed rolls, tents, that kind of thing.
yes.
Yep.
Of course.
But before we start to actually go down to sleep, I'm going to walk over to Whatgar and say, Whatgar, I wonder if you could help me with a little bit of an experiment.
If it involves magic, then no.
Well, it's a magic item, but not really my magic. It's more of a proof of concept than anything.
Is it in my head?
No, dear, you know me, I would never hurt you on purpose.
Fine.
Excellent, dear. I will take out the portable hole.
Okay.
Now, if I could borrow, Tam and Dax, if you could give me a hand over here, I could really
Sure.
use your help. Now,
What you got in mind, Nariman?
I would love you both to sort of hold his head for me.
Both of us?
Yes, just to make sure he doesn't slip away. Sort of like grab him by underneath the arms really first. I wanted to sort of see if I could do this.
Okay.
Just put my arm straight under his. It's almost taking him off.
Just lift him up by like a foot, and then I'll lower the portable hole beneath him and lift him up lift it up around him and try to make it so where I can make it close around his neck, so his head's still poking out.
Okay.
Am I able to like fold the hole up so he can't actually fall through it?
Yeah, you can kind of hold it up there. You're sort of holding it up against his neck.
And like,
How am I holding his under his arm if you
So,
sealed it around
yeah.
his neck?
Yeah, and then
Like,
so
that's
obviously,
what
yeah,
I-
it's
like
kind of
that go.
around the bottom half of your arms as well.
Alright.
So
so
what
if
you-
you want to pull out your arms, I want to see if he can sort of, if I can move his head. Do you know, like if you grab a chicken and its head just doesn't move when you do that?
I know exactly what you mean,
Yeah.
which is fucking weird.
Yeah.
Why do we want to do this?
Well, my plans are very special. Don't worry. Well, if it works, I'll let you know. If not, I'll not tell you because then I don't want to get your hopes up. So, Dokma, you'll be fine. If you fall inside, I'll be sure to spit you out. Promises. Kisses.
Again, if you misname me again, I'll go kick your ass.
Not Dokma. Fuck's sake, I miss him so. What car?
So we let go of the dwarf, right?
Yes, and I sort of have the clothes around his head, so whenever.
You okay with this, Wodgar?
I'm starting to not be okay with it.
So, what happens?
So we
So,
best get it
you're
over with before you change your mind, right?
you're both Tam and Dax. You're holding Watgar up. Naraman, you bring the hole up around the neck, holding it around the neck, and obviously where the arms and things are that are holding them in place. Tell them to let go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you sort of hold the edge of the hole a little bit tighter. You sort of have to put in a little bit of strength too, because it seems that, for want of a better way of saying it, Watgar is quite a heavy little dwarf, and the weight of him is almost sort of like it's pushing your arms aside as you're trying to slip through into this hole. But you sort of hold it up tight there.
Don't strangle him.
Watgar, it's almost like wearing quite a tight collar around your neck. It's not like strangling your breath completely, but it certainly feels quite tight against you, with Naraman kind of trying to hold it up. You don't feel anything on your feet or anything. You could like dangle your arms and legs. They probably wouldn't really be feeling anything.
You realize I'm choking a bit considering I'm falling down a hole.
Am I able to like move him while he's saying this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, you're flying, Watgar. Look, you're just a creepy head flying in the air. And also, we'll turn him sideways like this.
Yeah.
How?
I believe. No, let me out. This is enough. I'm going to
Okay,
throw.
I'll turn him over and like drop
Yeah.
him like.
And you sort of fall down onto the floor.
How deep is this hole?
And
Well, dear.
Yeah, 10
it's
feet.
10 feet for.
Yeah, I think
Like,
I think
could probably,
you've
reach
spent
the top.
yeah,
10
you've spent
feet
enough
deep,
time with it to work out its ins and outs. Yeah, it's 10 feet deep.
10 feet deep. So, essentially, what we have here is a portable cage, as it were.
Well, this would be a good way to sneak into places, because we could get into it, have someone chuck it over a wall, and we could hop out.
Now, when you fall inside
Ooh.
it completely, you have to force your way out with the risk of suffocating.
I will say
If
that
you
that's a
can't get your way
very dangerous idea. As you've been noticing, as you were doing this experiment, Naraman, you definitely didn't feel like there was anything sort of holding the shape of the hole. You figure that if you were to let go of the hole, gravity would still pull it down. So the idea of someone being sort of in that position and then being thrown, gravity could affect the hole. The hole would probably open up with as you're throwing it, then dropping whatever was inside the gap to the floor at whatever height and angle that would be.
I don't really think that would really work. It would sort of, gravity and magic, and it would fall out, and it's rather complicated.
If you could come up with some way of holding the actual hole bit, like as almost, you could say like a knot of some description.
Well, I do have the tube for it still. I could put it inside the tube and throw that.
Yeah, but then a person's head.
No, I mean like if they go inside it completely.
Oh yeah, yeah. That sounds like that would probably work. Yeah,
It's
the
all speculation.
the tube was had like a little latch on it, so you could kind of close it.
I mean, sorry, not to be a bit rude.
No, it's fine.
It says, I'm just trying to figure this out.
It's good that you do it now,
item.
rather than
Yeah.
waiting to just do it and then expecting that it's going to do a thing at the time.
Because it says a creature can make a DC 10 strength check. It's just they can, and they can also breathe for 10 minutes while inside of it.
Hmm.
So, if you choose not to do the action, you can stay inside that for 10 minutes.
Yeah. That
Essentially,
seems-
before you start to suffocate.
Yeah, but
Yes.
that's probably when it's all when the hole is still not.
See,
And you can wrap it up. Yeah, it's a different plane, so it's not like wrapping it up is going to make it all of a sudden fold up inside and squish someone. In theory. Anyway,
It's only a
it's
DC
fine.
Yeah.
10 strength check, so you can fold them up, throw the cloth over, and then they've got a DC 10 strength check to break out.
Mm.
And let's face it, I mean, anyone who's got any strength, and there's lots of us to help, so DC 10's,
Pretty
I mean, you
easy
can
to
take
break
10.
from, yeah.
yeah.
It's certainly an option that we could sort of, do a little bit of, throwing or sniping or shooting or launching and all sorts, and what guy here can climb back inside the hole again and be a freaky floating head.
That was not a very pleasant experience.
Oh, dear, you loved it, trust me.
Trust me,
Well,
I
I've
didn't.
seen you eat.
You've seen me eat.
No, I've seen Watgar eat. That's not a pleasant experience either.
Yes, it's true. Anyway, let's all bed down for the night. Thank you for help, everybody. Class is dismissed.
Don't mind me. Cool. So, you've done your experimentation, feeling well fed, well watered. You got yourself little bedding areas set aside. Who is going to be doing watching? And in what order?
I'll take the first watch.
Okay.
I'll take second.
Yep. Cool. And 4 should probably be enough to spread across the... unless, Tam, you specifically want to stay awake for a section, or whether you're happy to just sleep through the
No,
night.
I'm going to just let people volunteer.
Cool.
If
Awesome.
they want to volunteer.
Yep, fair enough. So everyone takes himself off to sleep. Watgar, you are left alone. Would you have lit a fire or
No.
left one of the things?
I was probably gonna.
Yeah, I imagine everyone who had
stone
lights.
with light.
I imagine everyone who
stone
had
with
lights probably extinguished them while the rest were going on.
Unfortunately, my stone only lasts like an hour, so
Yeah.
while I was awake, I was just redoing it. But now I've gone.
But
to
you
sleep,
could
you've probably got-
you could say to Watgar, like, here's a lit stone for light on your watch, if you wanted to.
if you like, obviously the cantrip only lasts an hour, you see. So I
Yeah.
don't want. I don't obviously that
Yeah, so it
something
wouldn't
like
last the whole watch. So up to you. Do you want to stay in complete darkness for your watch, or would you like to have some light to see by?
I'm gonna stay in complete darkness and hope nothing comes from me.
Okay. Sure. If you want to give me a perception check, then please.
Sure.
Nice. What languages do you speak, Watgar?
Vodka speaks 4 languages. Let me just check. Common, Dwarvish, Undercommon, and Gnome.
Okay. You hear very, very quiet whispers. Not quite from all around you. They seem to be coming from the deeper sections of the forest. Very, very faint, and it's not a language that you recognise. But you certainly heard something. A few voices, at least 2 maybe. But it was kind of hard to tell because you didn't know the language. And yeah, they were whispering. Whatever it was whispering.
And sort of grips. Vodka sort of grips his axe closer, gets his shield ready, and just. If anything comes near it, he's gonna swing.
Yeah. Nothing does. You spend the rest of your watch just kind of shield up, keeping your eyes open as best you can in sort of relative darkness. There's a little bit of light from the moon, but not a whole lot. It's still pretty dark. But yeah, it comes to the end of your watch. Nothing has happened. Nothing further has happened, should I say?
Sure. I then wake up the next person in line. Sort of feel
Naravan.
my way around.
Yeah.
Hello, what car? Good morning. Oh, it's still night, I see. Oh, it's the what's time. Okay.
There was some whispers around. Be careful.
Okay. I'll be sure to keep an ear out. But whereabouts were they?
It would be to the west. If like that's your camp as like a C, they were sort of coming from like this direction.
Okay, I'll keep an ear out if anything
Could have
happens.
drawn a
I'll
picture, but-
scream. It's okay. I'll scream really loud. Go get some rest, dear. I've got your back. And I'll walk over to the area that he was sitting on and plop myself down.
Okay. Sure. Right. If you want to give me a perception check as well, then please.
And give you a perception roll.
Very quiet. You hear a couple of badgers. Well, something that sounds a bit like a badger, sort of ruffling around. And you think you just see the sort of the glint of something small and badger-like. And comes up to you. It's like... It's like
Sort of like
two little badgers.
reach into my pocket and take out a ration and kind of break it up and just sprinkle it in the ground in front of them.
Give it a bit of a sniff, a little bit of a claw, then nibble it. And then take
Good
themselves
little badger.
then take themselves away.
Goodbye, badger friends. Thank you for scaring Wodka.
Yeah, the rest of your watch, quiet as the grave, so they say. Who are you waking up next?
I shall dander over to, I think it was Dax was next.
Yes.
I kind of lightly shake him, which is like akin to like a child.
You have to shoulder barge him to have any effect.
Kind of like, nope.
Hello.
Sorry, Dax, you're really big and heavy. It's time for you.
Oh, okay. I'll get up.
And with that, I just sort of like push myself up and to my feet and
Cold, brisk wind.
Before I go to sleep, Wodka said he heard voices in the west, but I think it was just badgers, because I fed them. They were cute, I told them. They're really adorable. I think that's what scared Wodka, but you never know. He may have been hearing badgers, or I don't know.
You fed badgers.
Yes, they were lovely and adorable.
Oh well, that's.
I mean, you wouldn't feed the badgers.
Well, no. Yes, you can feed the badgers. You get some sleep. I'll keep a lookout now.
Okay, don't eat my badger friends. I'm not going to sleep.
Try not.
You can go walk around just thinking, badgers? What?
Yeah.
Is there anything particular? Or yeah?
Yes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a handful of stones, like little stones,
Yeah?
and I'm off to put light on each one of them.
I believe you can only have one instance of light up at once. I believe.
No, you
No?
can as many as you like.
There we go then. I thought it was just one instance of light on an object. I must have been reading it wrong.
I can put it into chat if you want to read the description.
It's fine. I believe you.
Oh no, you're right. I tell a lie. It isn't concentration, but
Oh.
it does spell ends if you cast it again. So it's
Yeah.
not
Okay,
concentration,
Okay,
but the spell
alright,
does end
so,
if you cast it.
Yeah.
I'm going to find like a medium, but not a small rock, but not a big rock, like a
Yeah.
biggish size rock.
Just sort
I'll
of
have to
fits
cast
nicely
light
into
on
your
it.
hand.
And I'll have to launch it into the woods in the west.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
You
a bit.
you throw it in. You see some of the light sort of streaming through as it passes by trees and branches, and you just see it. It looks like it must hit against maybe like a tree or something. Hits against it and falls down to the floor. And then you see sort of the. It looks like it's maybe fallen into like a bush of some description, and you can see kind of a bit of the glow from it.
Yeah. I'm just going to
Doesn't look like it illuminates anything.
I'm just going to sort of leave it out there to see if it draws anything towards it, or I can
Yeah.
see. Like each time it goes out, I'm going to pick up another rock and throw another one out.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so yeah, we'll say that you're doing that sort of all through your watch. If you want to give me a perception check, please. Okay. Yeah, no. It doesn't seem like each time you sort of throw things, you're not seeing anything like in the light, or you're not hearing anything coming to inspect it at all.
It's It's alright.
You're not hearing any badgers either, which is the important thing. So, badgers, what?
Badgers? What? Badgers? Just it confuses
Or
me.
mushrooms or snakes?
Nope.
Should go wake up Kraylin, I suppose.
Walk over to Crayon and be like, sort of try to do it gently, but because I'm like so big, it's just like,
Roughly woken up.
Sorry.
The hell?
It's I'm trying. It's hard to be gentle sometimes.
I don't like it rough.
It's your turn to have watching. Watgar says he saw some movement in the bushes to the west. I personally haven't seen anything nor any creatures, and apparently Narman saw badgers.
Oh, badges!
But I haven't seen any badgers whatsoever. Not even a trace of badgers. Just him spilling rations all around the floor. But I'll leave the rest to you and I'll have to get some more sleep.
Okay. I'll watch for things.
Okay.
And,
Is there anything in particular
basically,
that you're doing?
no, I'm mostly just kind of sitting there with my legs crossed. Just kind of almost as if like in a meditative state, but
Yeah.
just bored.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so if you want to give me a perception check as well, then please.
Is that good enough?
Well, yeah, no, it's good enough for whatever it needs to be good enough for. Though it doesn't show you anything. You don't hear anything that you wouldn't expect. A few birds is starting to get round tomorrow morning. You know, those sort of very early morning, 3 a.m. birds that you're never quite sure why they're awake, but there they are. But yeah, you're not hearing any. No worries. You're not hearing any like voices or anything. Certainly no badgers.
I was just kind of sitting there sighing heavily.
What is that ungodly smell?
You all wake up to this rather, well,
Ew.
not brilliant
What?
smell.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I thought my food was meant to last 24 hours.
I instantly get up and check the wagon to see if it's all gone mouldy for whatever reason. Realise it's not food and just
Yeah.
look around like,
What?
We're being attacked by zombies.
What?
Oh,
At the
Sorry.
mention of
Oh,
zombies,
that's not the
Tam
rotting
jumps up
flesh.
like, "What? Zombies? Zombies?"
that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
rotting flesh.
I'm sorry, I'm more used to a diet of good berries.
That's
Yes,
probably the
maybe-
problem.
Yes, a berry-only diet. No, it's not really good for you, I'm
Something a
sure.
bit more solid.
No wonder you're so skinny and I'll poke his little tiny arms.
Can you stop that, please?
Well, it's just so fascinating. It's like I could see straight to the bone.
Stop looking at my bone.
Sweet Jesus. Yeah, there's plenty of food and drink left over from the feast yesterday. You have a nice, quite nice breakfast. Binkagro has quite nice sleep. And sort of rouses up a little bit, looks around, nibbles at some of the stuff that you feed. Shim.
I pet him. Good morning, dear.
That's the worst horse noise ever.
the food does cover horses as well.
Oh, it's got some specific horse food. Awesome.
Yeah, well, it says
Apples
15
and sugar
people.
cubes.
It says
Loves a
15
sugar
people
cube.
or 5
Yeah.
horses. So I'm assuming because there's 5 people and 1 horse, it'll...
That works. That works out surprisingly well. Yeah, there's a few bags of some sort of horse feed.
Yeah.
A few sugar
Tiger
sugar cubes, which they were maybe saving those for maybe a cup of tea. We don't now. Let's a couple for the horse.
Yeah.
He was quite happy.
A few carrots.
Gotta love the carrots.
I think we should not waste any more time with the breakfast. I think we should at least be on with the day and
Yes, we should be off. There it brings the question of, if we're going to go to the orcs and have a bit of a tussle, how are we going to bring our horsey friend and the cart?
Well, perhaps we should leave him here. It seems quite safe.
Well, that's where last night's experiment was making me think. What if we put the horse inside the bag? Not the bag, the portable hole, and then took the little horse with us.
But he can only breathe for 10 minutes.
And we leave the head out so that he's sort of like leaning out of the hole. So it's just a
So
black
you've
hole
got
and
a tube about 6 inches long, and then a full-size horse's head kind of poking out of the top.
Yes.
Does anyone have like
Are you gonna like put this between your legs and just say,
I was thinking more like getting a long stick and riding it.
I think that will just be cool.
I
The
give
poor
up with
thing.
D&D. I'm done. I'm so done. So done.
Does anybody have a quiver they can put it in?
so just got a horse's head looking over his shoulder?
Spotter.
It's a parrot horse, just sort of sat on your shoulder. Squawk. So, what's the plan this morning then?
We're going to leave the horse, or we're going to give my plan a try.
What did you? I think we should leave those. What God did you say? Something about something being in the woods in the west.
Aye, that's what I see. That's where I see stuff and heard stuff. Well, I could just be losing my mind, considering I'm hanging out in Ironman for so long.
How dare you,
Rubbing
dear?
off.
The lovely badgers, they were lovely, very friendly.
I didn't see any badgers through the night. I didn't see a damn thing. And he's convinced badgers strolled right up to him and he fed.
Yes.
As confident as I am in you, Watgar, you were jumping a little at shadows yesterday. Perhaps he was just more of the same.
Hope you're right. I certainly hope
Yeah,
you're right.
all be well.
Or we're walking into numbers.
Sorry, I just got that message from the group Facebook chat between Cal, Chris, and my brother Ben about the Rydell police.
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't seen it? No, it's quite hilarious. Sorry.
So, the place where we spent the night, is it like secluded? Is it like a bit of a cave thing? I didn't really get the full details.
No, there's it's almost just like very much like a C shape of like trees.
Oh shit.
Like almost like there's a section of the forest has maybe been over time like sort of whittled down to kind of provide a little bit of a slightly sheltered sort of round. The front of it is sort of open to like the rest of the plains. Then to like the back of it and to the north is more sort of like where the thicker tree line extends to.
Well, I don't really feel very good leaving the poor little horsey here, but if that's what you all want, you're going to have to tell the poor lady and the little girl that we killed the little horse.
Oh, it's not
If
the idea.
I'll just draw you a rough little thing so you can kind of see what I'm on about.
We're leaving the horse in an orc-infested area where someone was just peppered with arrows. And there are badgers.
It's kind of like this, if you can see.
Ah.
So, like, you were kind of parked in the middle there.
Hmm.
And the thicker trees were more to like the west and the north.
We could just tie the horse to a tree. Make sure he's still there.
Well,
Or we could just take it with us.
how much did this cost me, by the way? How much gold do I have to remove?
What was that for?
100.
100 gold.
For what, the horse?
Wasn't it?
I paid for
I think
everything. I paid for that.
Oh, you paid for it, did you?
Yeah,
Alright.
because
cost
Tom
you
was
money.
buying and I was spotting him.
Alright.
Spotting him.
spot me.
Yep. Spot me if ever. Well, if we're going to leave the poor horse here, I'm not going to tell him it died. So we'll just tie it up and be off then.
We don't need to tell them it died. We bought it.
True.
We can't just leave this helpless animal to die.
Excellent.
If-
I'll
if
get the
it-
portable hole. Hold him down.
If
and I'll
at
put him-
least, if at least we're going to leave him behind, we could set him free.
How are we going to
Okay.
carry the
If
cart?
we set it free, it's just going to die. It doesn't know how to live.
It'll run off,
It's
approach
a
the first thing it
horse.
sees, and get its
Try the
face
hole.
bitten off
What's
by
the
that.
worst that can happen?
See? There's one for the hole. Any more for the hole? Come on. Raise your hand for the hole.
Mike,
Who wants to go at Narman's hole? What?
Who wants to go into my black void?
Oh Jesus!
Got to pay the troll toll to get to the place.
the worst thing about it is I'm picturing this like tube that you've got with the horse's head coming out the other side, as if you kind of like shoved it up the inside of your sleeve. So you're walking around with like this horse head.
It could be like a horrible deformity.
Jesus Christ!
One arm, and one
It's a
horse.
very, very fucked up centaur.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we could take. But when we get there and we start fighting, there's just going to be a horse's head lay on the ground inside
No,
a tube.
I'll look after him. I'll put
Well-
him down my blouse.
On your head, be it.
On the horse's head, you mean?
I can do it. I can.
So hold on. Based on your tests, we could essentially grab this tube with the horse's head sticking out the other end, swing it, and let the horse just catapult out the far side.
If we opened it up as we swung round,
Oh
yeah.
God, yeah.
Okay? Horse!
It's certainly
I
a
vote we don't do that. That's
We're not going to
unnecessarily
throw
cruel.
poor horsey. We're going to keep him alive. Okay, everyone work together. Someone grab the thumb. We're going to squeeze it in. And between all of us, if they're all willing, we're
Is
going
everyone willing to try and do this?
try to make sure
Yeah.
its hair doesn't slip inside and die?
I sort of
any
hold it
part of this.
round its head like this.
Yeah, to prevent it from slipping inside.
Okay,
Then
so between there's a group of you that manages to do it. The horse realizes it's not going to get out of this. Small 5-minute montage. You have a tube with Agro's head sticking out of the top. I hope you're fucking pleased with yourself.
I really am. I'm so sorry.
I was trying to. I was honestly trying to.
Agro
avoid-
looks confused as hell. Just doesn't know what's going on.
I'll pet him. I'll hold the chip and go, right, shall we be off then?
Lead the way.
So you're leaving the wagon there as well, or do you want to try and do something to hide that?
I say we just we put it in some bushes. or
I'm
something.
going to get a few branches off some
Yes, I
trees
was
and
going to
literally
say,
just
bring a
reach
tree
up
down.
and just cover it up
Yes,
in ground.
Tom. Just
Yeah,
like that.
sort of stash it to the side of the tree line and try and disguise it.
Excellent.
Okay, so if you want to give me...
Just
for
so,
this
just so you
instance-
know, you can't really put it down because the head can't really touch the ground because that would be weird. It will hurt the horse a lot.
Yeah, I'm holding the horse. I'm not going to just drop him. I'm just like...
Dax, if you can make me, for the instance of this, call it a stealth check. No, sorry, survival actually, this would be.
Thank you.
This is your hiding the... Okay, yeah, you think you do a pretty good job of stashing it somewhere into the tree line and sort of disguising it with a bit of brush and trees and stuff. It's you know it's there, but it's kind of hard. Like, yeah, you can see if something wasn't paying attention, it'll probably miss it. And you all set off into the forest.
Yes.
Yeah. Before we do, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go over and like cast a little bunch of good berries so it can at least eat something while we've left the stranded, bodiless.
So you're leaving the
Alright,
horse there
it's
as
only
well.
food
What?
for 5 horses. We're good.
Bring in the horse.
It's
You're
really,
bringing the-
really good.
You're bringing the horse
Oh,
with
did
you.
you?
Yeah, I'm carrying the horse's head. I've got
Oh,
my
you're
chip in
bringing
my
it?
hand. Yeah, I'm like, come on, horsey.
Alright, go.
But
That's
I put like a little feed bag on it with the berries
See,
inside of it.
One of those like
Just
muzzle
imagine
pouches.
Nariman holding a stick with a horse on it, literally a live horse on the end of this stick.
Yep.
Something jumps out. What's Nariman gonna do? He's gonna A. Reach for a weapon. B. Use one of those spells he never seems to remember. Or C. Operate with a horse.
Oh my god!
Not
It
gonna
looks like a horrible fight. It'll be like one of those toys you have as a kid where it goes like a toy thing like nah, nah, nah.
What have I done? What have I created? So
This is
Let's-
the element of
let's
reality
put on-
now.
let's move forward. So you're taking the horse with you, and you will
Yeah.
proceed into the forest. The name, the Bramblewood, you instantly start to work out why it's called that. There are some very thick vines and brambles and lots of spiny bushes of that sort of nature. It's a little bit of a struggle working through and not hurting yourself on these things, but you make it. Interestingly, as you're let's give me a marching order.
I'll go first.
You could go as like 2, 3 wide probably if you wanted. It's up to you.
I'm walking behind Dax to sort of hide the horse.
Walk alongside Watgar as he goes off ahead.
I'll sort of like stand behind Watgar and Tam, but like in the middle of them. But,
Yep.
so there's 2 in front, and I'm like in the middle behind.
And Kraylin, you at the back then.
I'm actually just checking to see if there's anything I can use to help us get through this.
Yeah, sure. If there's something you can do.
There's one thing. I mean, there's freedom of move. But I don't know if that would
It's
help in
it's
any
not
way.
difficult enough that it's slowing down your progress a significant amount.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Scrap.
Yeah. So are you at the back then?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You notice something very strange. As everyone's sort of walking forward, a little bird maybe catches your eye, and it sort of flies behind you. Looking behind you, you don't see any evidence you were there. You don't see any bushes pushed to the side, tall grass sort of bent to the side. No evidence of footprints of any sort. As you're sort of proceeding forward, you being at the back, obviously you sort of notice that you would have expected to see more evidence of you being there, but you're not seeing anything.
I think there's magic about.
Maybe we're dead.
Spoiler!
Yeah, don't listen to them, aggro, and a sort of like...
It's cultists.
We're not dead, we're
Some
not dead.
freaky forced cultists.
Always cultists.
Can I sense any celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of me?
Celestials, fiends, or undead? Do you have to choose, or is it just any of them?
No, any of the 3.
Celestial, fiends, or no, you're not sensing anything of that nature.
Okie dokie.
Let me just
Thank
double check, but I'm pretty sure that's a no. Ooh, actually, let me double check because I forgot to write down the something. But I have a feeling not. Let me just double check.
We have
What was it
forced
again?
cultists
Fiend,
on
celestial, or undead?
Yes.
No.
Okie dokie.
No, you don't sense any of those things. Do you carry on proceeding?
Yeah, I've not noticed what they're mumbling about at the back. I'm talking.
Yeah,
like,
it's more Kraylin. Are you
Dwarven
making them?
things.
Are you making them aware of the fact that they're not leaving footprints?
We're fairies now.
You are half fairy anyway.
There's a little bit
You're
of
about half
faience.
of everything.
No. Your race is basically half fae.
There's no way that giant blue thing was ever a pixie. Come on, Watgar, pull the other one. It's got bells on it.
Well,
No,
I
I'm
mean,
telling
Or
you.
maybe this
Let's
fairy
get a
does.
fairy and like stretch him. That would explain why he's so lanky and thin.
I heard dwarves were racist, but that's too much.
What do you mean we're not leaving a trace? And with that, I'm literally just gonna lift my foot and stamp the ground and just.
Yeah, it's almost like you put your foot down into the grass. The grass like separates around your foot. Then as you sort of lift up, the grass kind of almost sort of like forms back, and like you can't see a footprint. You know, you step down pretty hard to sort of make a footprint. And you lift it up, and there's no footprint.
This is strange. This is strange things going on here. I think we should be on alert.
Yeah, it's rather weird. And Norman will, with one hand with the horse, will take it to his opposite hand, and with his other hand, will just throw a firebolt at a tree.
And with that, I'm going to like put activate my shield because like I'm gonna pull my shield sort of. I'm always gonna start spinning it around me, but it's still attached to me, and it's literally all you're gonna see is like this symbol of a shield, which literally just almost rotates around me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Okay.
And Sam draw his sword. What are we attacking?
Nariman, you throw this fireball forward. At a fairly thick tree or something smallish?
Something that's not too huge, but something that I'll see if there's an impact on it. I don't want to set the whole place on fire. Maybe like something that's a bit isolated.
Yeah, you shoot forward at this sort of small, like sapling type deal. Shoots forward. The flames sort of crackle and smatter against it. They maybe burn for a little bit, and then extinguish out. The damage is still there, like the leaves were sort of stripped off the section of the tree that you hit, but the fire seemed to extinguish slightly quicker than you maybe expected.
So, look at that. See, fire doesn't go out that quickly, but it did damage it, so there's something weird going on here. So I'll just sort of like step a little bit away from the group with one hand still holding the horse and like, now, is anybody weird in the forest here trying to play tricks on us? We've got very important business, and if you don't behave, I'm going to set the whole place on fire.
You say that.
Would I be able to do a nature check and check on the plants to see if they're...
Yeah, sure. If you want to give me a nature check. Please.
While Kralen's wandering around, I'd like to just take a few minutes and cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay. Kralen, you, as you sort of step towards the plant
I'm
that's...
proficient in it, by the way.
Yeah, it's totaled into it. Or it should be anyway.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah. You go up towards the plant, and as you get closer to it, you can see very, very slow regrowth of the plant. You can see the sections of bark which were the bark and twigs which were blackened by the flame bolts, almost like the charcoal bits kind of like crackle off, and then you see the bark start to grow back. You see, leaves start to appear along the length of it. It's very slow. You think at the rate it seems to be going, it may take maybe a good couple of hours before that section of the tree is sort of like regrows to back of what it was. And there definitely feels like to you that there is some magic about this.
Yeah, so
specifically magic that you are kind of used to yourself. Actually, you sort of going over inspecting it, even with like the low score that you got, it feels there is like a sort of a nature-based essence to the magic that is sort of in the tree. And Tam, as you do cast your detect magic, you're getting the sense of this sort of very nature-based kind of restorative kind of magic, which, and then as you sort of like think about the things that you've done, the hiding of the footprints, it almost feels like the magic that is kind of all around gives like an effect that over, like, there's not much which can kind of damage this particular portion of the forest. There is something which is almost magically, artificially regrowing parts that break or die. Obviously, is hiding the footprints and the effect that you've seen on the tree.
This is incredible.
Yeah,
It's
Kraylin, you
infuriating is what it
definitely,
is.
Kraylin, you definitely recognise this as druidic magic of some description.
It's definitely not natural.
No, I don't like it at all. I believe something may be fucking with us. How are we meant to navigate if we can't tell where we've been?
Yes, but I've never seen it to this scale before. There doesn't seem to be anyone around here that we can spot.
That we can see, anyway. We could coax them out. I mean, I do have a little bit of a trick. What's the biggest tree that's in the area right now?
The biggest tree that you see is maybe, like, if you put your arms around it, you don't think you could put your arms all the way around it, and looks, it seems to pass beyond most of the tree cover that you can see, slightly above it. So it's a considerably tall tree.
And is it larger than the rest by a big margin, or just kind of like a little bit?
Not massively big. I mean, it's certainly bigger than the ones that are around it, but it doesn't look abnormally large. Like out of place type large, but it's certainly a big tree.
So I will hand my horse stick to Kraylin. Hold on, the aggro, dear. It'll just take one moment. And I'll walk over to the tree and I'll give it a little bit of a hug. And nope, I'll wait for it. I'll give it a bit of a hug.
Yep.
And I'll rest my head against it.
Yeah.
And I will cast Blight.
Okay.
Which does, if it fails, it does maximum damage. And it has saving throw at disadvantage. Because it's a plant. If you target a non-magical plant that isn't a creature, such as a tree or a shrub, it doesn't make it saving throw, it simply withers and dies. But I guess because it is magical, or it has the effect of
Target
magic.
plant creature on a magical planet. It makes saving throw at disadvantage and deals maximum damage. Okay.
All the dice.
I need to roll something quickly. Didn't think this was going to happen, but we'll see.
That's
No, it's
horrible
fine.
for
No,
you.
it's good.
I'm gonna kill the
Okay.
trees, I'm gonna put a horse in a stick.
Oh, with disadvantage. Okay. What's your DC? Oh, 17. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You see the tree. As you're hugging the tree, and trying to sort of pulse this sickening energy into the tree, you feel there is almost just like a force pushing back, which you weren't necessarily expecting. You imagine that when you sort of cast a blight onto a plant, it just kind of, the effect is there. It's almost like there is something which is resisting the effect slightly, but not enough to overcome the power that you put into it. And over the course of maybe about 5 minutes or so, the small section of tree that you were sort of holding on to darkens. The brown of the bark darkens and grows slowly blacker and blacker and blacker. Sections of it start to sort of fall off and peel off. And slowly but surely the section you're holding on to shrinks and withers, not quite crawling up enough to take away the rest of the tree, but the section around where you are shrinks and shrinks, and you get a sense that the tree is falling and falling.
I'll
And
move
then-
out of the way.
Yeah. You with the thing that's going out, you're able to sort of step out to the side, but you see the tree just sort of collapse
And
down,
it didn't
making
have the effect I
quite a
wanted.
loud noise as well. You hear a lot of birds seem to scatter away from the tree line above where you are, and you're left with just this trunk, which is kind of half sort of broken away.
I was gonna look
Hey,
at the
did you do that?
Yes, I'm trying to make a point to whatever was in the tree. There's something fighting against me when I did that. Like, it wasn't just healing, there was some sort of force. Now, if you can hear me tree things, I will do more. I can kill the forest if you don't come and speak to
Whoa,
me.
whoa, whoa, whoa! I can see that there's something weird going on here, but what's with all the deforestation?
I didn't meddle. It's motivation.
What point are you trying to make? That we kill plants?
But I can.
And like with actually seeing this going on, I'm just going to use the thaumaturgy and like just shout out, "Is anyone out there?"
Oh, shit. So you have a tree and now someone's yelling.
Yep.
And
You shout that out as loud as you can. Well, increased by the thaumaturgy, yeah. It's quite a loud. Those around you have to sort of put their hands over their ears a little bit, otherwise it hurts. Again, you hear a scattering of birds and things, which seem to weren't expecting that. There's no response.
Wait, just to kind of get an idea of what that would sound like, is it a bit like your
It's
woman
like
in Lord of the
it's like
Rings?
speaking into a loudspeaker, essentially.
All right, okay.
I'm not sorry, but it's like doubling, tripling the volume of your
megaphone.
voice. Yeah, megaphone. Essentially,
So-
thaumaturgy, yeah, explodes. The
What do you
sound.
reckon that we stop worrying the woods
Yes, it's
and
perhaps pretending.
start heading that way? Yeah.
Yes, onwards.
Yeah, as you've been sort of having this conversation, you've noticed that the trunk, once again, this sort of black and necrotic effect has kind of sort of withered away. The tree is starting to sort of regrow, but it's not growing like a straight up thing. It's almost like smaller trees are breaking up out of it. And looking over at the trunk of the other tree, you can see vines start to slowly sort of work their way up and around the fallen tree.
I don't like it. No, it's not amazing. It's creepy as all hell. Nothing
This
should
is
have that kind of
life.
power.
I
Yes,
think-
but at an accelerated rate. There's life and then there's messing with life.
I think we should get out of here as soon as we can.
Yes, we made a lot of noise. We should hurry. And I will grab Igro out of Quaylen's side. Let's move now! Come on, Igro! Let's go!
So you start making your way in the same direction you were going, or are you sort of diverting path a little bit?
We should probably go around a little bit. The tree did make a lot of noise. I didn't expect that. I was expecting it to kind of go really thin and crispy, like Quaylen, but no, it didn't. Anyway, let's go around a little bit, just to sort of, if something comes towards us, we can catch them. Like forest people that do magic.
Okay.
Okay, sounds like wisdom to me.
Yeah, you start making your way. Excuse me. Making your way.
chasing forest people in the forest. That's
Yep.
like trying to run down a dwarf in a bloody cave. It's not gonna happen.
Hey, that's. You never know. You never know. Yeah, so you start making your way around and putting a little bit of effort into specifically circle around and almost sort of give yourself a little bit of a wider berth on this. As you're going, you're not seeing. Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, no, you're not seeing anything that's. I am wasting all of my natural 20s. You're not seeing anything that's. Anything around that's to be worried about, like keeping an eye in like that direction. As you start getting deeper and deeper into the forest, you're certainly noticing that there's more evidence of like tree trunks that have maybe been quickly cut down and things are starting to regrow over them. The vines seem to be a lot thicker and gnarlier. The spines and barbs on them seem to be a lot sharper and pointier. As you're sort of getting deeper into the jungle, deeper into the forest, sorry. After maybe about 20-30 minutes, you do feel like, well, you start to hear the sounds of, you probably start to hear the sounds of Orcish speak. Speaking off in the distance, maybe about, let me look at my map. Maybe about 100 feet from sort of like where you are, though there is still a bit of forest in front of you. You are starting to hear the faint sounds of what you assume to be orcs. Not speaking in common. Any of you that... Does anyone speak Orcish?
Mm-hmm.
Just you, Dax?
I do.
Yeah, so you probably hear the sounds of orcs. Doesn't sound like. Oh, it sounds like what's going on is maybe like training regimes, that sort of thing. It sounds like there's maybe one or two shouting orders, that sort of thing. You get the sense that there are warriors up ahead by the way that they're speaking and things that they're saying.
It almost sounds like they're talking about training or tactics on fighting. So there's definitely warriors, so to speak, ahead. I think we should try and sneak up and take a closer look.
Maybe.
Oh well.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do they all sound like they're in the same spot?
It sounds like they're roughly, maybe you'd gather about 100 feet away, but it is kind of hard to exactly pinpoint a specific point of where they are.
Could I use tree stride in order to kind of scout around the outside and see if there's anybody else, or if they're just in one group? And
Yeah, you
possibly
can tree stride. Let me just double check exactly what that means. Other than you get to move like really quick and that, because I'm sure it's more than that. Tree stride. Oh, you've pasted it for me. Oh, okay. It's completely what I didn't think it was then.
I think you walk into a tree and then appear in another tree.
Yeah, within about 500 feet. So.
see it says you can do it once
it's
per
one,
round.
Yeah, so it'd be one cast would get you into the tree and one would get you out. If you were doing that multiple times, you'd very quickly run out of your the spell slots for that.
The
No,
spell
no, no,
lasts
no,
for 1 minute.
Oh,
Yeah,
does
you
it?
can use the teleportation ability once per round for the duration. For the
Right.
duration
Oh,
of the spell.
concentration lasts up to a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
So I can basically just glide. I mean, it'll firstly tell me anyway if there are any trees exactly like those ones in the area, but then it lets me kind of move around, go between the trees, in, out. Something like a ghost.
Yeah. In fact, move to enter the tree. Yeah. Okay. No. That sounds fair. You spend a bit of time circling around. It is sort of harder to find trees of your sort of size, but you know there do seem to be quite thicker and bigger trees around where you currently are. You scout around, and it seems like from your point, so like sort of 20 feet ahead of where you are currently are, and then another, let me see, and then maybe about another 100 feet or so somewhere between like 70, 100 feet. Sorry. Quite a distance away, you start to get the sense that you're reaching close to the foot of the mountains that are sort of behind where this forest is. So almost like the trees go straight up to the edge of these sort of mountain edges, and sort of as you're sort of like circling around, yeah, sort of you're keeping an eye on like the sounds that you're hearing. You almost get the sense and feeling that there is a almost just like a section of the forest which is kind of hollowed out and sort of set against the mountainside. So if I draw on the on that map section there, so we get a better idea and I'm not just saying things, you get a sense that roughly there is mountains kind of like that, forest all the way around that, and then there is a section of like a clearing which feels kind of like that. And just if I draw some little red X's, so the party is maybe like there, and you've been kind of circling around. And it sounds like whatever is the orcs that are making this sound seem to be in this sort of central area.
Doesn't seem to be anyone else around the outside, so if they're all grouped together, maybe we could get closer and see what's going on.
It is quite a large area that you're sort of able to scope out. You get the sense that it is maybe roughly 120 feet, so 120 feet along that way, and then going straight up to the mountain edge, maybe about 100 and just short of about 200 feet maybe. Probably no, a bit less than that actually. Yeah, maybe about half that. So it's a considerable sized little hollow that's been that is there.
Can you see anyone in the clearing?
Would you like to have gotten that close, or were you more wanting to?
Oh yeah, I could get that close. I basically look like one of those Bigfoot videos where you just kind of
Okay,
slowly
yeah.
gets behind the trees.
Yeah, you're seeing. Yeah, you're seeing a considerable amount of definitely orc-looking warriors who look to be wearing like sort of like head leathers and hides kind of scrapped together. What look like sort of bones of large animals, that kind of thing. Each one sort of more nastier looking than the last, and they seem to be using or have this sort of species of almost like a boar, but not quite. Like you've seen different species of boar before, but the ones that you'd seen, there was like some sort of smaller ones, and then one slightly larger one, which seemed sort of a slightly bigger of these boars or whatever they are. But yeah, there was definitely something not quite right about them. Like there's They looked to be like they had the tusks were slightly bigger, enlarged. On the bigger one, which you assume is maybe like the leader, like the pack, the alpha male of the group, for want of a better word, had like spines running down its back. Its hooves seemed to be sort of thicker and gnarled. And the bigger one as well, almost rather than, whereas the other other boars had like one set of tusks. The bigger one almost had like several sets of tusks and horns around its head, and in general seemed to be like the size of the size of some of the orc warriors, and then a bit more. It was quite a large creature that you saw.
Size in length or size in actual shoulder height?
Well, it looked like, for want of a better word, a large creature. The orcs you know to be like medium-sized. The bigger creature seemed to be a larger size.
Mm. And the orcs themselves, did they look as if they had been prepared as a hunting party, or is it more like a wartime?
No, it seemed like it was more like a camp of some description. They looked like there were in this sort of clearing, almost like barricades. So it almost looks like whatever. Well, they're certainly camping there for an extended period of time. You know, you saw what looked like small fire pits in fleeting glances, that sort of thing. It didn't look like they were sort of here for a small period then moving on. It looks very much like they're sort of dug into where they currently are. And they looked like, yeah, they were just sort of training, doing sort of small sparring matches with each other, feeding these animals, whatever they are.
What kind of weapons did they seem to have?
A range of chunky bladed weaponry, ranging from sort of axes, cleavers, things of that nature. They didn't all have like the same weapon. I mean, they looked kind of the same. Any bows? You didn't see any bows, though you did see what looked like, how can I describe it? Like not barrels, like baskets of maybe like spears or something like that against some of the like barricades that you'd seen.
But nothing that would resemble the black arrows that were found in the other bodies?
Nothing that you, no. No.
Okay. So yeah, I would just basically at this point I would just come back to the group and explain what I would have seen in there. It looks like they've all gathered together. They're camped there, and it looks like they may have been there for some time. Some strange creatures with them as well, but I'm not sure. We came to find whatever was killing the villagers as well, and it doesn't look like anything that they may have done.
Well, we can't just let an orc party stay in the woods near the town.
No,
Because they've
that-
got bigger creatures. Well, I didn't come all this way not to kill me some orcs.
Well, what does that there writ say?
The writ says to find out what's if the orcs are there, if it's a viable threat that people should be considered, that people should know about. If the threat can be countered, I want to say, if something can be done about the threat there and then Dogma should
Neutralised?
Neutralise. If the threat can be neutralised, then by all means you have the sanction to do that. But there's no specific wording as to say that Dogma had to bring this down like as soon as he saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I could pop in and see if they're baddies, or if they really were the ones killing people, or maybe they're good orcs. I know that may not sound like a good option, but I mean...
Good orcs! Good orcs!
Well, you never know.
It's rare. Half orcs exist, and there are good orcs, but they're a rarity. Very rare.
And they have a big creature with them.
It's certainly, from the description that Kraylin had given, that they were certainly a warmongering encampment. That they were not there for peaceful means.
Well, then we should just fucking kill them. See, around the camp, was there like... You said it had like barricades. Was the entire thing... the entire
no,
length
it's...
of like a wall?
It almost seemed like there were... Not like around the camp that they were in. There was almost like a semblance of a wall that was like reaching across, but from the description that Kraylin gave, it was almost like there were a few scattered, like there, almost like they're expecting things to come like at that angle, like that.
Now, hold on.
So if you
This
think like
encampment's-
a cover type deal.
Ever going to say that, Tam, dear?
This encampment's built at the foot of a cliff, right?
Yes.
Let's go above and take a look.
I'd love your thinking. I even love the idea more that we rain down fire on them and flush them out. Then they go, "Where are the people?" And then we're like, "Boom! Here we are!" And they're like, "No!"
I'm also thinking, if you can carry a horse around in that thing,
Yeah.
how big do you reckon the boulder is that we can get in there?
Oh my god, that's amazing. It would be about 6 feet across, 10 foot deep, so
And
6 foot across, 10
extremely heavy.
yes.
I'm
it
thinking,
would be very
big
heavy.
cliff, big rock, big splat.
It could take them out rather easy. How much weight do I know is able to go into this thing?
Fucking now you're asking me questions.
Sorry.
Well, if that sounds like a good idea, but
No matter
God.
what's in it, the whole weighs next to nothing.
if two of you,
Yeah,
three of
then-
you go up there, and what if me and Watgar stay down here? So when you push the boulder off the top, me and Watgar run in and clean up who's left.
It sounds like a good idea, and I do have my ways to get me and Tam down safely to sort of help if you need it.
Sounds good to me.
Wait. Straight away, once again, you've gone to killing, but we don't know why they're here.
Yeah, we just sort of just had a bit of a moment there where I was
You
like,
said
maybe they're
yourself.
good.
You said
Yes.
yourself they're a bunch of orcs that look like a warmongering party.
Yes.
Yes,
with
That
weapons
just
and
spells evil. Orcs warmongering equals evil.
Yes.
How's about we drop a really big rock on them and then ask them?
Sounds good to me.
If we were
You
able
can
to
certainly
get you close
try.
enough, could you understand what they're saying?
I can. Yes, if I was close enough, I could. I suggest.
Helen,
Yeah,
you
you
should
weren't
tell-
hearing like full conversations. You were just hearing a few words that gave you the sense of what was going on.
Helen, you should bring our dear friend with you through a tree and then have him listen, and then he can tell you that they were saying things like kill the women and rape the babies and all that, and then we'll go kill them.
Well, before we start,
Sound good?
what guy? I've got this. Just
I'll get a ring out of my pocket.
put this ring on. It will it will help.
And I use.
So, fuck. Dax hands you this fairly plain-looking ring. Almost looks like it's carved out, like it was like carved out of stone. And sort of hands it to you.
Who's this he's handing it to?
Just so I'm aware, Dax, is this the ring?
Yeah, this is. No, not the ring you just gave me. It's,
Oh, okay.
No, it's a separate ring that I've bought.
Oh, never mind then.
specifically for this spell.
Okay, no
Is it
worries.
perhaps made of platinum?
Yes.
Sorry, I thought
And it has,
you
like, a
meant
symbol
the
of
ring.
The snow, the like a sun god
Real.
who I worship.
Yeah, it's the top of the ring. It's like a signet ring, and there's this emblem of like a blazing sun on it.
If you stay close to me, Watgar, you'll feel the strength course through you.
Aye. This is some familiar magic.
We're not bringing Watgar, are we?
Yeah, we're all going in. We're all going separate ways. We're going to use you as a sort of taxi service, dear.
So you're
I just
casting
want to
what?
be
So you're
close enough
casting
to
warding bond on Kraylin.
No, on
Wait.
Watgar.
On what? Oh, okay.
I've already cast Tree Stride for 1 minute. I can only cast one level 5 spell once a day.
Oh,
I
are you
wasn't
all
going to go
set?
with Tree Spell.
We'll go.
Well,
We'll
shit.
just go there.
Well, the whole thing was just to kind of cast Pass Without Trace and to move in as close as we possibly can to try and get him close enough to hear what's happening. There's actually one thing I was going to ask Jay as well. You see, from looking around and observing everything,
Yeah.
that the open area itself,
Mhm.
with the rest of the forest that's basically regrowing instantly, and this is a large opening.
Not
where
like
the forest has
instantly,
not
but
grown.
yeah, speed regrowing. Yeah.
But this is a large area of the forest that hasn't seemed to have grown back.
Yep.
Does it look like they've chopped it down, or does it look like it's just been a natural?
You can't see evidence of like any sort of tree or anything was ever in that sort of area.
Does it look like an open field area?
Give me another nature check.
Sure.
But I think we should sneak up. Me and Wodka. And Kraylin, if you want to come as well.
Yeah, it's hard to tell exactly, but the area in the middle, there was certainly, it doesn't feel like there have been trees there for a significant amount of time. There's a lot of growth of sort of, grasses and vines and things, particularly around the like the barricades that you'd seen. But it doesn't look like, it almost just looks like, there's a clearing there.
Well, orcs aren't normally known for being too intelligent. And if they are a warmongering group, well, where's the war? What's the war? How did they suddenly end up in the middle of this forest, in this particular spot, where it seems to be the only opening for a very large area?
Well, maybe we can ask a few who don't die.
Can we keep
I
at
can
least
kind
one?
of, I can kind of understand where you're coming from. This is all very strange and all that, but they do seem to be heavily armed, and we already know that orcs have killed at least one scout since this area. I don't think we can go too far wrong by neutralizing the threat right now. Then we can talk to anything that survives. I mean, if you want to sneak up and have a listen, go for it. I think that's a good idea. Me and Narman here, we'll head round the back nice and quiet like.
Yeah.
You guys cast whatever it was you said, and you can go up, possibly, maybe Wodgar can take his armor off or something.
Also, Kraylin, didn't the owl bears from before we first went to Stragos tell us that the orcs are the ones that did it to them, that sort of stuck them? So that's more reason for you to want to get revenge for them.
And just in general as well, it's druidic magic, but it doesn't feel good. The effects that have been on the plant life around here, it doesn't feel like the tree life has been enjoying it. Like, as you've been tree striding around, you get this sort of sense that the trees don't enjoy the whatever is affecting them.
It's just
Yes, cultists, always cultists.
as well. It would just seem to be a case where I want to make certain, obviously for the safety of the town, because that's exactly what we're checking as well, that this is just the only group, because didn't look like they had the same weapons. If there's some other threat out here, are they part of it? Is it separate? Or are they just the opening group? Are they scouts for a larger army?
Yeah, we can find out.
I'll tell you what, right? If you want to do this nice and quiet and sneaky like, let's wait till the sun goes down, wait till it's getting nice and dark and quiet and all the orcs are fast asleep, and we can nip in there and nick a sentry. What do you think?
That's a good plan.
Yes, that sounds good, yeah.
I could put one inside my hole and bring it home.
Gross, but yeah.
So,
My hole is very useful.
I think that goes against
I
certain
never said it
treaties.
wasn't.
and on that bombshell, as this is about 10 o'clock, we shall call the game there for the night, with a plan for next week to find out exactly what we're going to do about these orcs that have entrenched themselves against the mountainside.
If we're waiting to night time, I have now wasted Warning Bond.
Well, that's it. We'll start at the top of next session that Warding Bond will be active, so you can use that then. It's not going to be a case of, oh, that's wasted now.
It doesn't actually say on your description how long it
Oh,
lasts.
sorry, an hour. I have it in front of me.
Yeah, so we can start at the top of the session that you've just casted Warding Bond, so you've got the hour of
with
it.
as well. Actually, no, it's not that one.
Well, in fairness, it did take us a while to get here, and we were supposed to arrive
Yeah.
at night, or come as close to it as possible.
So yeah, good.
But yeah, that was a
I'll recast it. That's better. Yeah, 1 hour.
yeah, duration an hour.
I
So
really just should
Beans.
stop nodding my head when I don't have a cam.
Or get
I
yourself
really
a cam, and then you can nod as much as you like, and we'll all
Yeah.
be happy. For
No, because Chibi said it was a good session. I was like, yes, it was. nodding my head like a moron.
It's fine. I've realised, like, sometimes I put my arms out to do gestures, and like some of my webcam probably misses half of it off.
You see, like, I made this amount.
Yeah, exactly. So, to the players, thank you for joining in. Those in the chat room, if there are any, thank you for joining in. We should be back same time next week, and we'll find out what's going to happen with the orcs. Maybe they're happy orcs. I don't know. Who
Maybe
knows?
we'll make orc pancakes.
We'll make some orky friends, and all will be wonderful.
We're gonna murder them.
So that's a good night from me, and a good night from everybody else. And hopefully we'll have the Dot as well for next session. I'm not quite sure how we'll squeeze her in, but we'll do something.
We'll find something.
In Narman's hole.
Yes,
It's
in
like,
Narman's Hall.
"There, Jesus." Oh, what's happened? I've appeared out of
We've
some-
been cheated. That isn't a horse. It's a polymorphed insert character.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
That would work. So, good night, stream. We'll catch you all next week.
Good night.
Right.